We'll get back to that.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello,
Well,
everybody.
Hi.
welcome back to another Reviews Corp podcast, also known as the ARC podcast. I'm Red Devilosa, and I'm back here again with my good host, Unity Reviews and Analysis. What's up, Unity?
Hi. Final day of the year. How fun.
Final day of the year. Uh, and we're here today with a very special guest. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Hello. I'm noob. I don't really have an online presence much. Uh, but I like to talk about Doctor Who. So I know Red and Unity. So I was like, can I show up on this episode about Doctor Who to talk about Doctor? And they were like, yeah, sure.
Yep.
And
Yeah,
here I am.
and here
Yeah.
you are. So, as we start to get into the topic, why don't we first just give a quick reminder that we do have a separate channel, another Reviews Core podcast, where we do put all these archived videos the next day after. Hello,
Yep.
amazing astronaut.
Hi.
Thank you. We appreciate it. Yeah. So all these episodes go onto that channel on the Monday after at 9 a.m. So you'll be able to find it on that channel. And please subscribe to that. We would greatly appreciate it.
Yeah. Also, we're to be honest, we should change this one. We have 12 subscribers now, not just 10.
Oh yeah. But it's
I
all
mean,
right.
I can advertise this particular stream on my channel if you by my server. I mean,
No problem, man. We
Sure.
appreciate it. And yeah,
you just can't send me like
guys,
the link that it'll show up on.
sure thing. But yeah,
Um,
just like as Unity said, this is the last day of the year, last stream of the year. So I think it's worth to make it pretty special. And speaking of special, we're talking about the Christmas
Yeah.
special for
Yay.
Doctor Who.
yeah, the first Christmas special since 2017.
I was surprised
Yay.
about that. Um,
Yeah.
Yes,
Trim no
because
stuff.
there's
yeah,
a
the Whitaker era decided to do New Year special exclusively.
yeah. I heard they also moved the release dates on Sundays instead of Saturdays.
Yeah. It's just so
I
dumb.
barely noticed because I don't watch the show live.
Right. Yeah. Um. I guess it's interesting that
Yeah.
we kind of just go back to what it used to be, Christmas specials, and as if nothing
And
happened. Um.
yeah. Just.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, just yeah, that's pretty much. I mean, I watch it live. I'm in UK have BBC, so that's how it works.
So yeah. So basically, the Christmas special obviously came out on Christmas, which was last Monday, as of the time of this recording. It's kind of our first introduction to. Well, we did have the Doctor, the 15th Doctor, in the Giggle special for the 60th anniversary, and then here he is as a first fledged episode for him, as well as his new companion Ruby Sunday, who we'll get to in a bit. And yeah, basically, I guess I wouldn't say it's like an introduction to the new season because like technically, uh, I believe like Christmas Invasion was a similar thing for David Tennant as well, if I'm
should
not mistaken.
Yeah,
should we go through like what each of us thought of the episode, or should we keep that for later?
I think we can do that
yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah.
One second. Yeah. First full episode, I suppose. His debut was more of an extended cameo.
Yeah,
Uh,
Yeah, that's
I
fair.
mean, yeah,
yeah. I mean, to be fair, you can just count like Matt Smith is like in in what's it, End of Time Part Two, and David
yeah,
Tennant
but like
technically, yeah,
in episode of Time Part Two, he was there for like a few seconds, whereas like Ncuti Gatwa was there for like he had an active part
The
to
third
play
act. Yeah.
into the resolution of the giggle.
Yeah, that's true.
I guess I did want to kind of talk about that first before going into the special. Kind of like your thoughts about that aspect of the bi generation noob.
Well, the new show has fucked with the rules of regeneration so much, but like, um, I think it's I don't like bi generation. I think it's stupid conceptually. I don't think it makes any sense
We
mechanically
agree as
with
well. Yeah.
what regeneration is supposed to be. It's supposed to be your whole
Yeah,
body is healing itself while also burning itself out.
Right.
It's basically regrowing from the ground up, and that's what changes the appearance.
Right.
So if you just poop out another doctor, the first body should still die.
Yeah.
yeah. Uh,
And
also,
then like
by the way,
our
yeah,
yeah. Go ahead.
something. Yes, we don't have the front this time for the fire one. Why do we have? Why don't we have the front for We're just black. I just realized that.
Oh yeah.
Mm,
I got back to the free version of StreamYard. So
yeah,
yeah, we can't have the background now.
no, damn, that sucks.
Yeah. I think it's
And also, there's the watermark, so
yeah.
that's distracting.
Yeah. Well, we just got the time
Maybe
managed
you
for
can
now.
make him your mascot or something. I'm sure StreamYard will not sue.
Yeah,
I think in the free version we have to use it, and then it's just weird because like the paid version is like $25. It's not even yeah.
Anyway,
But yeah.
um,
Anyway. Yeah.
yeah.
Um. But basically the
as in you, as
yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah. We basically agree as well. Like the bi generation part was just kind of
But
like
I don't
I
know.
think my main thing is like with 14, obviously like you have like David Tennant still there and all that stuff, and then it's it's kind of difficult because like I know like Ncuti Gatwa is not going to have like pressure like that, but like you're still going to have like fan expectations of like where's the 14th Doctor? Why when can I see him? Like when he's going
I
to
mean,
get back and stuff like that.
Yeah,
And it's kind
I've
of like
seen,
an unfair thing when it comes to that aspect.
yeah,
Plus, the
mm,
second TARDIS is kind of like there's really no reason why he would retire. Um,
I've seen
despite him
people
have
say
something like
that.
that.
I've seen people say that bi-generation is actually a time loop thing.
uh,
So like basically, at some point David Tennant is still gonna regenerate into Ncuti Gatwa, but then when that's gonna happen, he's just gonna be poofed back in time into the giggle, and he's gonna show up there. That's
Hmm.
what some people have been telling me. I I don't know that there's any evidence for it in the show outside of him saying we're doing rehab out of order.
I mean, all they said is this is so rare. It's just like what happens like once every billion years. Okay,
I
right.
thought that what they were saying is that it's straight up not a thing. It's just a myth. But because the toy maker is there, myths are through.
It's
Yeah. Apparently,
it's
RTD says Toymaker has an influence in this special. I'll kind of go more in depth with that
it's
once we.
Oh
Once
yeah,
we
I
mm,
kind of know I think I know what he's talking about.
yeah,
yes. It's like it's not like the first time he like pulls something out of his ass and just like throw away line to explain it. I'll later just watch Rose again. It was like, and then at the climax, it's just like what Rose just said. Oh, by the way, I do this thing at 7 years old, gymnastics, so I can
yeah.
swing a rope to attack to hit the two plastic man and so
Uh,
accurately
Which
let
is
the
it's not bad per se. My
it's like
problem is like it never comes back into play.
it's just like
Because
mm,
I finished watching series one, as I mentioned
yeah,
before,
it's like
and I've started series two. The gymnastics part hasn't really came back.
it's kind of like we need Rose to play a part into the resolution, but also like how is she able to do that? Oh, she does gymnastics. And there we go. Moving on.
I was
Like
like nah.
it's not like
Oh
It's
the
not the craziest
idea.
thing,
It's like
obviously.
we had the
yeah.
situation we needed to explain instead of like we had an explanation and then we put that to play into the thing.
Yeah, I was
Anyway,
like, yeah,
Yeah,
like the Marvel is handled much better.
right. Yeah. Biogen is one of those high
Um,
concept sci-fi ideas that fails because there's not any lead up to the concept. It's wonky because it's piggybacking on one of the most iconic ideas of Doctor Who.
there's a couple more things I need to say about Generation. Well, first of all, I think the reason Russell T said he wanted to do it was because he was like, well, we often have the Doctor meeting with past versions of themselves. Why doesn't he meet with a future version of himself? Why doesn't everybody ever do that? They're like, I'm like, and so it's like, well, you could have done that without fucking with the rules of regeneration.
well, technically they did that with like in Day of the Day of a
Yeah,
Doctor.
but
Yeah.
yeah, but like he didn't really interact with the other doctors. But I mean, what I'm saying is that you could do that. You could have like David Tennant like have an adventure and then just have Ncuti Gatwa show up from the future and they hang out and then like you have the regeneration story and then like he's like maybe you can have that play into like why he's all right with regenerating. It's like it's okay, it's okay. I know my future is in good hands. It's like the ending of The Brink of Death. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. And also,
So
like, if it's not a time loop, first of all, if it's a time loop thing, this has weird implication to the mechanics of regeneration. And also it doesn't account for what happens to the other TARDIS.
right.
But if it's not a time loop thing, I think it really diminishes the audience. It dilutes the investment in the Doctor.
Yeah, that's definitely my big fear about
Yeah. Just
it in
yeah.
general.
It's like, well, what do I care
Yeah.
about this guy? The guy I care about is just hanging out in present day with Catherine Tate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Because the thing with regeneration usually is because it's like it's still the same guy. He keeps on going. He just looks different.
hmm
So it's like whenever you have a new character, it's like you got to get used to it because it's the same character you like, and so
Yeah,
that's
and then
neat. It
it's like,
kind of challenges the um your bias a bit into like, well, he
yeah,
looks different,
especially
but
when
and he acts different, but it's the same
David is
guy.
like the most popular incarnation of New Who,
Yeah.
arguably, but most likely. Um, yeah, and then obviously like we're in an era of like lots of spin-offs, which I know Doctor Who has spin-offs in the past, but
Oh yes.
this is pretty different
Yeah.
in terms of expectations. But yeah,
You're probably just talking about like Sarah Jane Adventures,
yeah,
Doctor
yeah,
Who, and everything. You don't even
Yeah.
know. You don't even know the extent to where it goes.
Oh my lord! I only seen Torchwood. It's like, I was like, what, series 3? I haven't seen series 4 yet for Torchwood.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that's the US season.
yeah. I wonder if that unit spin-off is going to happen. I know that's been like
Uh,
a high
probably.
ask lately.
I mean, it's
Uh,
they do have a unit spin-off in audio.
yeah.
So, I don't know.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yeah. To be honest, I don't know.
They also have a Lethbridge Stewart like series of novels about like the Brigadier
Yeah.
before his time with unit.
To
Yeah.
be honest, no. To be honest, I just hope they bring Oswald back and instead of just they just have like Shirley in the specials. Like, well, missed all opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah, I listened to the first. Not exactly. I listened to the first episode and a half of Big Finish, like Once in Future 60th anniversary event. So basically they have I don't know if it's 8 or 7 parts, but like the audio episode people, they made like a big epic several part like 60th anniversary special. I listened to the first one. It's pretty. It's nothing great, especially by their standards, but like it's serviceable and it's more celebratory of the history of the show than the show's 60th anniversary was.
Uh, yeah.
Yep.
Um, Also, Osgood was in it, so
Um. Yeah. So
anyway,
that kind of like that's kind of our segue from the bi generation, and then going into this one. So you wanted to give your thoughts on this Christmas special?
Yes. What did you guys think of it?
Uh, I mean, I really like it. It's just a shame I'd watch in 1.2 times speed before I hop inside here, and it's like, it's just like there's just a lot of aspects it holds well. I've noticed a few more problems this time I watch it because I watch it live. I can't distract myself. I just really enjoying at the mood. I mean, I still think it's good. It's a good episode. It's like, but yeah, I like Ruby. I like the new Doctor. There are aspects to be improved, but it's still a good start.
For myself, I thought it was fine when I first watched it. On the second time watching it through, I kind of appreciated it more. Um, it's pretty simple in terms of the plot. Um, Now there are some time mechanics that I do have a few questions about, which we'll get into. Um, but outside of that, I am looking forward to more of 15 and Ruby moving forward. Um, but yeah, I mean, one thing I have like seen a lot of people say about Russell T's method of writing is kind of like he focuses more on character writing, and then everything else is kind of like in the background. Or I guess like basically it's like character writing first, and then the plot is second. And I could see that perspective for this episode as well. But yeah, I'll kind of go more in depth on that thought
I
during
don't
the
know if
during the
I
episode.
don't know if I feel this is accurate or not. I don't know. Maybe I should rewatch some of this old stuff. But
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't.
what
I
about you,
certainly
dude?
don't know if this is accurate for this episode because I don't think we get. I don't know. Rewatching it recently with a friend like that, this was empty. I don't like this. Okay. I think poorly paced would be a better word, and I
I
don't think
can
we.
see, I can see
I
that.
don't think we actually get a whole lot for either the Doctor or Ruby. Uh, I I don't know what is to blame for this. Like I
Yeah, I don't really
um
hate. The thing is, like, I don't hate this episode. I
you
don't
know
love this
I
episode.
think what is there is fine. It's just I don't think there's a lot there.
Yeah,
Mm,
I
uh,
think we'll probably kind of expand more when we get to go more in detail with the plot. But I guess like in terms of a Christmas special, which I mean, I know like that's kind of like an odd metric to, substantiate the entire point. Like how is it as a Christmas special? Um, but yeah,
I
I guess like yeah,
uh I mean I don't have time to rewatch all of the Christmas specials. Like there's a lot of them. But it's
yeah,
like for Russell T Davis, it's like I think this is like I just like one of the better Christmas specials. To be honest, I'm not really that fond of his Christmas specials. I like more for the more, even though I think he has some episodes are actually worse, but some episodes are better. That's how I think about it. So it's for me. It's just one of the I like it more than I should for Russell T Davis Christmas specials.
I
uh, I think we're good now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. My only comparison is the Christmas Invasion episode, the 2005
Yeah.
special, and I didn't love that episode, but we are gonna kind of go into that just a little bit. But I guess like what I wanted to do is kind of go through some of the other previous Christmas specials that we had in the past.
can I just say real quick and
Yeah,
not
go
to
ahead.
interrupt the pacing, but like I just recently realized that like there has been more special episodes between series 13 and 14 than there was at the end of series 4, which is funny to me.
Hmm.
Um,
Weird. Hmm. Yeah.
like it's like you go from Flux and then you have Eve of the Daleks, Treasure of the Sea Devils, Power of the Doctor, The Star Beast, Wobbly Under, The Giggle, and now Church on Ruby Rose, but Ruby Road. Sorry,
Yeah.
Flippa.
Yeah. Oh my lord. Uh,
It's I don't know. It's just funny because like in the 50th anniversary, it was just like 50th anniversary and a Christmas special. How wacky! We get 2 specials for 1 year.
yay. I mean, even like between series 4 and 5, we only have like 5 specials. Now we have like 7.
Let me
Jesus.
count. Okay, so the 2 thing, Power of the Doctor. The 3, that's 6. With this, yeah, 7. That's a bit more than that.
Yeah. One thing I was surprised when I had this conversation with New before is like there was only one technical Christmas special in the classic Who. I was kind of surprised by that.
Yeah. Well, actually, I just remembered. Canine and Company might count. But so that would make it 2 Christmas special. But the thing with Canine and Company is that it was a pilot episode for a spin-off show about
Right.
Sarah Jane Smith and Canine. And it just so happened to be taking place at Christmas.
Right.
The premise of the episode is that the Doctor sends Sarah Jane a new copy of Canine as a Christmas present. That's the premise of the show and the episode, but then like the rest is about like some cult or whatever. That could qualify as a Christmas special. The first
Yeah.
true Christmas special, though, as you were kind of leading into,
Right.
was the Dalek Master Plan Part 7. Let me check. It was either 6 or 7. It's right in the middle of a very dark, very serious story about the Daleks' like ultimate plan to invade the solar system, where tons of supporting character get brutally murdered. And it's like right in the middle of this. Let's have a Christmas special where everybody runs around a bunch of sets at Hollywood. And
Classic.
Jeez.
It was
Yeah.
a very goofy episode, and it ended with the Doctor wishing everybody at home a happy Christmas while looking straight at the camera.
Yeah,
I guess this is topical to this Christmas special, but I guess we'll get to that later.
that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's good old William Hartnell, first Doctor, technical Christmas special.
I don't know if this is true, but I've heard rumors that like he ad-libbed that, and so he like when the director was pissed at that, or like I don't know if it was the director or the producer when they saw it air, they were like it's like this is don't do that ever again.
Wow. Yeah.
And Russell T Davies was like, nah.
Yeah, I think they also had David Bradley, the reprised actor for First Doctor, also like kind of recreate that moment as well.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, to be honest, this is like I only see like 2 episodes of like the first Doctor. It's like one is like the first ever episode with like Barbara White and Ian Chesterton just meet the Doctor the first time, and then the other is just Celestial Toymaker. Because I have to speak, because I have to understand who the fuck is the Toymaker first.
Yeah, we were doing some research for the Toymaker before talking about the Giggle as the context. But yeah, that was kind of our first one, and then I put The Unquiet Dead as a technical Christmas special, quote unquote, because it is set on December 24th.
Yeah.
And then you got Simon Cowell here as Charles Dickens.
I mean, to be honest, I kind of prefer that sort of Christmas special rather than
what the
annual ones.
Yeah,
Again, I don't.
I did like
like
this episode.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
very good.
I especially like Charles Dickens, being like an integral character for the plot of the story. So, but yeah, I
Well,
just kind of put it as a technical Christmas special as well.
I wonder if there's gonna be. Uh, I wonder if RTD is gonna resurrect his pattern of having a famous writer in a story that's the typical type of story that they write about.
Oh my lord.
Um,
Yeah, I got no idea. What writer can they get? Who writes Sherlock Holmes?
Arthur Conan Doyle.
Yeah, maybe they can get. Maybe they will have an episode with Archer Conan Doyle or something.
And they I think they kind of also did that with Mary Shelley several times.
Oh,
The
Um,
Frankenstein writer.
yeah. And then she was one of the Eighth Doctor's companions
oh,
in the audiobooks. Well, not books.
yeah.
But yeah, not too much,
Yes,
not too much here, but yeah,
they could get Stephen King too.
Stephen
What?
King.
No, hell no. I mean, they almost have J.K. Rowling, but
Oh
they would.
no,
That's crazy.
you can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
but yeah, that was you know, but like our first true Christmas special is as we mentioned, the 2005 Christmas Invasion.
Yeah. So that was an episode was like because I was literally just watching Doctor Who and people were just like, hey, you have to watch all the specials because they are so important for the characters and for the story. It's like, okay. And then watch it. It's like I was like, oh sure. I seen it. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
Like
I heard about this special, but I didn't expect to see that 10 is like asleep for like 2/3 of it.
Back in the day, there was a Doctor Who shitpost wiki that was based on the 4chan Doctor Who chat room, and one of the pages had like parody titles for every one of the episode. You sometimes on the format of Doctor Who and does something.
Right.
Well, for Christmas Invasions, Doctor Who goes to sleep.
Yeah.
I don't know if I don't know if it was that. I think it was Doctor Who takes a nap or something.
Jesus.
That was funny.
Yeah. I mean, I guess like there's one aspect here that people reference from the ending of this special with relation to 15. With regards to how Christmas Invasion ends, particularly with Harriet Jones and the space laser, and how
Jesus.
how the doctor felt about that particular action.
I remember the space laser.
Yeah, I was kind of baffled, honestly.
They're
I guess
yeah.
to
I mean,
keep it
to be fair, with the amount of time that the UK gets invaded by aliens since the fucking 50s, no, since the Victorian era, they it makes sense for them to like hyper militarize
right.
the city like that. But like, it's just the issue then is that it never comes up again.
Yeah.
Yeah, even though in like the Runaway Bride, they literally have like giant spider web ship on the air. It's like, hey, we
Okay,
just
maybe you can argue that like the giant Death Star laser is not that precise. Like it needs to be a big target, but like the Christmas star is too like it's too mobile for them to get a hit.
yeah.
Yeah. No, it's like when you see this moment, it's like you see all the snow. It looks
They could
really
have
whole.
used it against the Crucible in the Dalek invasion in Stolen Earth.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Mm.
And then obviously, like because like, obviously the doctor was upset with the fact that like because like the alien race, I forgot what they were called.
The Cigarette.
The cigarette, yeah, and they were retreating, but then the laser still hits them and all that. Because like I guess like Harriet's logic is like they can go and tell somebody else, then we'll be invaded again, and then we can't really stop that. Which
Yep.
This is an interesting.
I guess
Go
there's
ahead.
an argument there from both sides. I think because like obviously one of them is like saying, well, they surrendered anyway, so it's kind of like the right thing to do, just to let them surrender. But then her point is like, well, if they bring something back that could be worse, then it's like we got to deal with that, show that we have a footing, basically. So it's a topical discussion in that regard. But
This is
yeah,
an interesting thing to bring up about Harriet Jones in regards to the new Russell T Davies era.
right.
That so Unity. I guess this won't mean anything to you, Red. But like basically, Harriet Jones has a death scene in the show.
Right.
Yeah.
But did you know that actually she's still alive?
Jesus, what the fuck is she?
Well,
Mm.
according to the expanded universe, Russell T Davies himself wrote a story in which when the Daleks shot her, she just opens a trap door and hops on a little tricycle and drives away.
God.
And apparently the trickster from fucking the Sergeant Adventures has something to do with it.
What? Oh my
Mm.
lord.
Yeah. To tune in next to see what's up with that.
Damn.
I love my life.
And then like if you think it's a wholesome scene, seeing like all the snow in the background, just remember that's the ashes of the dead aliens.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
there you go.
that's a bad introduction for me for Christmas special. It's like after this, it's like what the fuck am I gonna expect?
I mean, it's nothing new for the Doctor. We all
I guess yeah.
we all
'cause
remember Remembrance of the Daleks.
right. I guess like my only thing is like, because like I know there was like some regeneration rules, like especially because like he had to kind of process that for like 15 hours, I think. And then obviously he gets his hand cut off, but it can grow back because of that early regeneration phase or something.
Yeah, which is something that the episode completely made up.
Yeah, because
I
I don't know if that happens every time a new
Nope.
doctor occurs. Yeah,
Nope.
that's what I thought.
Some doctors just go on right ahead and have no issues. Poor
Yeah,
doctor just got up and had an adventure.
I know one of them have like got a super strength after regeneration. It's like holy shit.
Oh,
Not-
that was that was the 8th Doctor.
oh yeah,
He just woke up in the morgue and then punched his way out.
right.
Oh.
Yeah, I watched that movie as I
Yeah, I
mentioned
knew.
the last one.
I haven't watched that. I haven't watched that. Jesus.
Well, yeah, that was the 2005 special, the 2006 special, the Runaway Bride.
Do we count the movie as a New Year special?
Nice.
I didn't put the New Year specials in the
I don't know. I think
Nah.
it's funny.
in this, but
Yeah.
yeah, it is technically a New Year special as well, in a way.
Yeah. So
I don't know
yeah.
that it came out the New Year. I just think it takes place there. But
Yeah.
Mm.
So yeah, the Runaway Bride.
which is
It's
a very apt comparison. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Obviously, like this is kind of like where I kind of take a backseat because I haven't been up to date on this regard. So I'll let you two kind of talk about
Yeah. So I actually watched this episode yesterday, and it's like it's good, but it's like I was not really enjoying it that much. I would just realize that. I don't know. It's like I just found Doctor just like quite annoying. It's just like, hey, Doctor. I mean, it's like I mean, it's in character. There's nothing wrong with it. It's like, but it's like it's just hard to suffer through. I mean, the character work for like Doctor deal with the loss of Rose is actually quite nice, and Donna just like realizing the situation just instead of just being a whiny brat. That's also good. But yeah, I think it's a good special for me, but just like for me, I just didn't really enjoy it much.
I guess I would need to rewatch it, but from what I remember of it, it is so much more packed with character than the more recent Christmas special. It's like you, because the plot moves along pretty fast, and the plot itself is pretty thin, but the it establishes Donna's character like hyper effectively.
Yeah, yeah,
And it's like it's totally in the sense like this is the kind of person that she is. This is I think like you also meet her mom in it, so that also tells you like, well, I guess that might have something to do with why she's that kind of person.
yeah. It's just a yeah. It's the character work is good. Just like I just realized there's like a bit more plot problems and more. That's the what I watched it the second time. It's like the Ragnus is just like, hey, bring Donna to me because she has the something particles like has particles or some shit, and
The Huon particles.
the Huon particles, and the fucking thing is just, and the thing is just next to, and it's just in the wedding site near the company. It's just next to a company, and the robot just like, hey, I'm gonna drive Donna. The robot controller Ragnar is just driving Donna away from the wedding. I was like, what the fuck? And just knowing this, and just like watching that again, I was like, wait, why aren't you driving her back to the wedding? Just driving her away. Like, wow.
Yeah. Why does Torchwood have a drill to the center of the earth?
I don't know.
Oh, that's a lot of tech, from what I'm hearing.
Yeah, and then apparently the Ragnus can just dunk like the water particles to a person immediately instead of like doing this 6 months plan. It was like, why don't you just use the robot, kidnap a person, and just like, dunk some particles inside, or just drop her off the build, drop her to the center of the earth. You won.
You on? Get it?
Oh my
Yeah, you won.
Just like the particle. Anyway.
Yeah, it's like you got the chance. You have it all, and you blow it. You blow it.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. We could probably get to talk about the version of Ruby Road.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
have seen like Runaway Bride.
Yeah.
And the next one, Smith. Well,
I
that
think
one
the
was
main-
a later discussion. Yeah.
I think
Go
the
ahead.
main thing that there is to bring up about the past Christmas special is that like you I guess it would be the distinction between the Moffat ones and the RTD ones, and how the RTD ones are more acts, but are more focused on like something's an alien invasion is happening, and also setting up characters for
Right.
the next season and whatever.
Yeah.
Like just having fun for Christmas, and also like just setting up shit for later.
Yeah.
That's kind of RTD's motto. Whereas the Moffat ones are like, well, let's make a story about Christmas.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I prefer it much more. It's just fun. It's just fun and small scale. Just like after just like here's world invasion, and Rositative is like, okay, now I
that's
want
kind of a thing that annoys me about the RTD specials. That's like every year at Christmas there's something to do with aliens that's large scale and whatever.
I guess like this current one isn't as big from what I'm hearing.
Just
but
this is
which is questionable.
Something, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, at first it's not as big, and then at the end they just turn it to planetary stakes.
Does it?
For
you mean Voyage of the Damned?
Voyage of the Damned.
Okay.
The 2007 special.
Okay. Jeez. Yeah, it's like Titanic. I mean, to be fair, it's like this. I need to watch the short before I watch this episode. It's like when they, like written by Moffat when he met the Fifth Doctor.
Yeah.
And they're just like, hey, you remember turn on shields? It's like, okay. And that's how the Titanic crashed into a TARDIS. He forgot to turn on his shield for some reason.
Yeah. But it's because the Master turned off the shield when he was cannibalizing the TARDIS. It makes total sense.
David always had drip. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, sure. So what do you think of this? Voyage of the Dam. It's so yeah, this is like this stars a new. This is actually just a one. So Russell T Davies has a thing called one-off companions. Donna is supposed to be, and then he changed his mind, and
I mean,
now
I think that's fine.
yeah,
Like
Yeah.
the Doctor doesn't need to travel with everybody he fucking meets.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, so this is Astrid, and she's a one-off companion. This is the Christmas special. I remember like I quite like the character work between like Astrid and the Doctor. Just like actually, it's also another. Hey, the girl wants to go to adventure, but you know, but at the end she just spoilers. Actually died.
Mm.
It's quite interesting character work for them, and just yeah, the plot is just packed with plot armor. Unfortunately, it's insane. It's like there's so much instance the robot can just kill them, and the Doctor is like, I don't know. Did they answer the Doctor can't just use sonic screwdriver just disable them? You literally have a plot device that can just disable any machines.
I mean, I'm fine with it being not able to deal with some stuff. Like you can, it's you can just quickly establish that. We'll just have the Doctor try to fuck with them, and then it doesn't work. It's fine.
Yeah, though they kind of do that in this Christmas special at one point, which is kind of questionable. But we'll get to that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good. I think yeah, for more I remember, it's decent. Just like for the character work, there's just the plot is just packed with plot armor. That's why I'm not too fond of it at the end. It's like, I mean, to be honest, the surprise is where the asteroid ends up, and that's kind of what I want to say, really.
Anything for you, no?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm raising my hand. Nobody can see it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are we doing? So is this stream about the latest Christmas special or just Christmas special in general?
So it was one thing we did in the previous episode was we kind of talked about the different eras of Christmas. Of the Doctors, like 9th, 10, 11, 12, 13 until the 60th anniversary. But obviously, I kind of realized that the longer we talk about these old ones, it's gonna probably delay it even longer once we get to the current one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is why I was
Which we could
attempting to speed run through them by
summarizing.
we could do that.
Summarizing the general patterns.
Yeah.
Bringing up only the specific example that are relevant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like the next Doctor
We
is
also-
the 2008 one.
Probably my favorite Russell T Davies Christmas special, because it's actually quite fun knowing this next Doctor and like what is happening to him, and at the end it was like,
Imagine if you named the giggle like the actual next Doctor.
yeah, that would be cool. I mean, yeah, I quite like it. It's just like the world is gonna be invaded by Cyberman, which is fine, to be honest. It's already relatively smaller stakes than what he did before. I mean, it's like plot some issues, but not as severe as the previous ones. That's what I thought of it, and yeah, he's a good character. The next Doctor is a great character. Yeah.
Then you have the Cyberman walking around in a giant kaiju mech suit. The stupidest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah. And they can just control people by putting a fucking helmet on them.
And then you remember when she gets mad and everybody blows up?
Another bullshit resolution.
Yeah.
Remember when Moffat was like, "Yeah, no, that never happened. The cracks in time deleted that."
Okay.
Don't worry.
Yeah. Next. Yep. So, yeah, we have
Yeah.
Steam Runner some.
So you talked about the Water from the Mars. That's not a Christmas special, but it sets up the next one.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, this is literally the most common take ever. The best special of all Doctor Who.
Yes.
Yeah. It's like the
pretty
plot is, yeah, the plot is so airtight and the character works is for challenging Doctor's value is like so well done, setting up for his choices in the end of time. Yeah, so I'm not gonna spoil this much.
It is an
I'm gonna
exceptional episode in terms of Doctor Who.
yeah, I was like I'm not gonna spoil this. It's like go watch it if you haven't.
Go
Yeah.
watch. Go watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that leads us to the last Christmas
One.
special, I think, for David Tennant, The End of Time in 2009.
Yeah, that's actually I like them, but I don't know. It's like at the sense that I like the setup for David Tennant, and I was like it's emotionally gut punching. And like Wolf is like and Wolf is so good here. It's like I just have some problems with the plot. It's like they just kidnap the master to
Yeah.
do stuff. I don't fucking know what the fuck does he want that.
Because he's a super genius and he can help them fix up the alien machine that they got out of Torchwood.
Jesus.
Of course.
Which Torchwood did they even get it out of?
I
Torchwood 1 or
don't know.
Torchwood 3?
I have no idea. I mean, and it's like at that time Jack is like off Earth after like children of off Earth shit, so he doesn't know that.
No, but what I mean is that the headquarters of Torchwood Cardiff got blown up at the beginning of Children of Earth, so that's why.
Yeah.
Like when he says he got it out of the ruins of the Torchwood Institute, I don't know if he's talking about the one that got wiped out by Cyberman or the one that got blew up in Children of Earth.
I got no idea. Bruh. Yeah.
I think this was also the introduction to Matt Smith as the Doctor, I think.
Yeah.
Part 2.
Yeah, it's like, and also like Gallifrey is here alive, and the plan is to crash the planet to Earth. It's like instead of use that insane time lord tend to just do without crashing their planet. So I have no fucking clue why is that plan.
Yeah.
Hold on a sec, I'll be right back. Carry on without me.
Sure thing.
Sure.
So it was also Bernard Cribb's 95th birthday on the 29th as of this recording, so rest in peace to him as well.
Yeah, he's my favorite companion. And he just have like two companion episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah.
I guess like if you want to expand a little bit more on this one while we're waiting for Noob.
Yeah, sure. It's quite simple. It's like this episode, some alien is like they're gonna stop the master, and then he's gonna stop Pure from Gallifrey because they're alive and they got crashed the planet to Earth for fucking I just want to die. It's like because reasons. They're evil, and that's kind of and that's like Rassilon. It's just kind of just I don't know. It's like they got Timothy Dalton to say something, and then when he just met the Doctor, he just stands there.
You mean Timothy Dalton
on the
Better Call Saul?
Yeah, Rassilon. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, instead of just you just hire him, just talk and just stands there to look at the Doctor.
The Doctor, where he calls him the narrator incarnation of Russell.
Yeah. And stuff, do some. They're just like, hey, I'm gonna stand here, just like point a gun everywhere. It's like, oh, that's a waste. But what can you do?
Yeah. So that was the 2009 one. And then that leads to A Christmas Carol 2010, which is the first Christmas special for the Matt Smith era.
Yeah,
technically.
Yeah,
and officially.
Yep, and that's where like what I love about like Stephen Moffat and stuff like doing serious arcs. Like holy shit, he can't do any single one in the Moffat era, in just Smith era. To be honest, just Smith era. And then he just wrote individual episodes. It's just like this is so good, man. Just like use the theme of Christmas Carol and just like play it. It's just got how to change the heart of like Gandalf and like
Dumbledore.
Dumbledore. and that's it. Simple but effective.
Dumbledore the Wise.
Dumbledore the Wise.
Dumbledore.
Also, Michael Gambon
No,
also
no,
recently passed away this year, so rest in peace to him.
Yeah, rest in
Ow.
peace. Yeah, so it's really small stakes. It's just like, I want to get these people from this ship to Earth. I need to change this person's heart. So yeah, he did. It's simple but really effective for character work for like the Doctor and like Michael Gambon.
Yeah.
Next.
That leads us to The Doctor, the Widow, and the Wardrobe,
Okay, this is
2011.
I think we can all agree best special ever.
yeah, so special. They suddenly just had the end just fly into a time stream, and the Doctor just like, what happened? I don't know. Literally, that's the
Also, it's
answer.
apparently in the same star system as the Cave of Androzani, which is like, why?
Oh. And the Doctor just like, I have this thing who can just travel to another universe, not universe, another planet for some reason, and he just like, what the fuck, is this random, or just can you just go to a really specific location? I have no fucking clue. And he's just like, and the entire resolution is, because you are a woman and you're a mother, and that's why you hold every single soul in this forest, even a Doctor couldn't. It's like, fuck me, who wrote this?
It sure is a Moffat episode.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh my lord.
I mean, okay, putting the plot aside for a sec, I feel like
Right.
the characterization is way better as this one than in most episodes of other things.
This is clearly a copy of The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. So you
Is
know, well, inspiration. Oh,
Inspiration, sure, but
yeah.
the plot is completely different.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. That leads to the 2012 The Snowmen.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually quite like this. Yeah, I really like this, honestly. I mean, to be honest, they put a rug out of me at the end, so I'm not gonna spoil it. So this is Victorian Clara. Though Clara, I wish it was for Series 7 instead of the one we got.
Not a
well,
fan of this one.
Really? Damn.
You also got Richard E. Grant in here as well.
Yeah, yeah.
And Ian McKellen as the voice of the Great Intelligence.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Strong character. I just like Victorian Clara and the Doctor's interaction between them. I mean, the resolution is basically just, you hear the voice of your own. Okay, that's weird. So I have no idea how does that work, but I just like the Victorian Clara and the Doctor's stuff, like how he helps her through the grief of losing Amy and Rory. I mean, to be honest, the Angel Takes Manhattan is bullshit. For how Amy and Rory is quote unquote killed off, absolute horse. I just, this is like that. That's what I'm gonna say.
Yeah. And the last Matt Smith, Christmas Carol, The Time of the Doctor,
So
2012,
so this is
2013.
So this is the episode like Matt Smith died.
Yeah.
And
I can't believe they actually killed Matt Smith for this.
That's crazy.
yeah, damn. And so Russell Moffat actually have another series plan for Matt Smith, but Matt Smith said he wanted out because scheduling stuff, and he had to do like a lot more filming than he used to be, and so he just like left, and so it's just like Moffat is just like, fuck, I'm just gonna shove all my resolutions in this one episode.
Yeah, I see like Daleks, Cybermen, Silence, and the Weeping Angels. That's a lot.
And they just shove it, and the Doctor just time jump 900 years. Like,
Dude, even the fucking monoid showed up from the Ark all the way back in season 3.
Because this fucking Moffat forgot to answer any questions in series 5, 6, and 7. Probably because he doesn't even have an answer. So they just shoved bullshit at the end. And all I just think of is like, what the fuck do you have to make it so complicated? Just like have the doctor just bomb the doctor. You won.
I mean, you kind of have to resolve all of the things that have been set up. And
He just asked Pooh.
So it isn't like a situation where 12 could have solved that stuff, or
No, they just
no, because the way it was set up was that this current incarnation of the Doctor was gonna die. Because like 2 episodes ago, we visited this planet in the future, and like the Doctor is dead, the TARDIS is blew up, and the a whole bunch of things.
because like I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think this is supposed to be the Doctor where that 13 regeneration thing was supposed to end or something.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, they could have made it last like 1 more, but like they just retroactively introduced the
The war Doctor.
yeah, the War Doctor. So
The War
okay, so
Doctor.
there's 1 more, but then like it was basically up to Moffat whether or not the aborted regeneration in the Stolen Earth counted, and he decided, well, it counts, so I can right now deal with the regeneration limit.
I mean, you can just deal with it even without that. Just say that he just got more regenerations because actually just you can still apply with this bullshit reasons.
Or you could do
won't-
what Timeless Child
I
did.
mean, why do a bullshit thing when you can do a thing that's lore accurate, which is what they did.
Yeah, to be honest, they just do lore accurate. I have no fucking clue what I've watched. I was literally watching it as like, wait, what the fuck happened? I do not understand anything. What the fuck the Doctor just leave Clara? What the fuck he just stay here for 900 years to fight for this planet?
Is that the one with the
Good.
old looking math smith kind of thing?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've seen the memes.
yeah. It's
I mean,
like
Unity, the Doctors decided he was gonna stay there to protect this town and also not expose Gallifrey to another time war, um, and also he doesn't want Clara to just spend the rest of her days there, so he sent her back home. I think that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't see what the
I-
issue is.
yeah. I just saw it. It's like, so are you not gonna portray anywhere else aside from this town? You know, Earth.
I mean, this town needs protecting, so
Yeah, it's so weird.
it's
That's
not like it's not like he's only at one place anytime. So it's like, I mean, he also knows that this is the place where he dies anyway, so it's like fuck it.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. Just cram a lot of explanation in just one episode. It's like fuck. That's all I say. It's like Jesus. And so yeah, at the end I was like, no bullshit. I was like, oh, I like the regeneration scene. I have no understand what the fuck happened beforehand. That's all.
Oh, I
That's
hate the
all I-
regeneration scene.
Yeah.
It's like
Right.
okay. The proper regeneration scene where like he just like the change of face happens, as I like, but then like the fucking thermonuclear regeneration that blows up the entire Dalek mothership when it happens, just what the hell?
Yeah, no, yeah, I'm just talking about the face changing parts when he just like when like Amy just appear again, just like rather it's like I'm not gonna spoil this out actually.
Right.
Yeah, so
I mean, I've only seen like just that part where he sees Amy's face in a hallucination and then changes to Capaldi.
yeah, that's
But that's it.
Yeah, that's it. That's the only part. That's the
Yeah.
only part of it like in the episode.
Can I
So-
just say,
yeah.
I really don't like how the new show is try to separate the healing process from the changing process of the regeneration.
Yeah.
They always have like, oh well, the Doctor gets healed, but also is every now and then, any moment now, he's gonna change face, but he can hold it in a bit. I'm like, that's
Enough
not
for a
how it's supposed to work. He's supposed
Enough for a conversation or something.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
yeah, that's a lot of conversation. Maybe we just would move on. That's Capaldi.
Yeah,
thing.
I think that's the kind of the precedent that's been established. Because every regeneration in the classic show was treated as a death, but like in basically every sense. meaning the Doctor would often like collapse somewhere and lose consciousness, and then change, and then wake back up and be super dazed at the whole thing.
Right.
Um, um, but in the new show, they really, really, really like to have the Doctor be conscious and aware during
A dying
regeneration, which,
speech. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
pulls at your heartstrings and stuff. But at the same time, it's like you're inviting a lot of issues by doing that, because if a Time Lord is conscious during regeneration, they have full control over their appearance.
I think I liked Nine's dying speech,
Yeah.
but it's like I still kind of have I've explained my issues with that episode in terms of how it ends and all that stuff with Rose and the whole heart of the TARDIS thing. But I guess like they kind of just take that and amp it up each time through.
I would be fine if you have a dying speech, but like the Doctor is dying during it. It's not
Yeah,
like, well, I just got myself healed from dying, so now I'm not gonna die, but I'm gonna change in a few minutes. So now let's say goodbye. Like, I don't like that. I would
I could see
not have
that. Yeah,
I would not have a problem with it if like the Doctor was just like dying and then just saying goodbye while dying and then changing.
yeah, I could see that. Um, just a
Yeah.
few left.
Yeah.
Last Christmas.
Yeah. Probably.
First Peter
Yeah.
Capaldi
Yeah, probably
Christmas special.
one of my favorite specials. Like this is my only problem is like how the fuck the Buck get to Clara and the Doctor at the same time. It's like, sure.
I mean, fuck. Moffat established. I don't want to. This is a stupid rule, but it is still a rule. Moffat established that time travel is possible in dreams, so I guess they got not at the same time per se, but like at separate. Like the Doctor was probably in an entirely different time period, but he just got by the same aliens, and like they connected through
Uh,
that through dreams, and that's
and then the Bucks go to Clara for some and just like, okay, how did that get here? And for other random people, that's my only problem with this episode. Because I really like it. And just like I just hope they have a better reason for the Bucks to get here. It's like anything about the dreams that intrigue, like Santa. But yeah, clearly about the guy from Hot Fuzz, Shaun of the Dead.
because
Yeah.
opportunity, don't you get it? His name is Nick Frost, like Black Santa.
Yeah. To be honest,
The reasoning starts and ends there.
but to be honest, yeah, he's a great Santa. I like him. Yeah, it's like dream within dreams, like Inception. So yeah, less action, just more thinking. So I'm more there like Clara's like dream stuff and the Doctor. Yeah, I quite like this. So that's you just gotta have to move on quick.
Yeah.
Next,
The Husbands of River Song, the 2015 one.
I saw it exactly once, and that's enough.
I saw it. It's like this is like the only episode I actually like River Song. It's like holy shit. They did a really shit job of introducing her in the Smith era. I was like, what? She's the daughter of Amy, and they kidnap her. She has regeneration. It's train her to be a assassin of a doctor. Like, fuck, that's convoluted as shit. And I don't fucking know what happened in the what her backstory is in the series 6. And this is like the only time it's like, oh, okay, oh, her relationship and the Doctor is actually fleshed out, and actually why they actually like each other, what they like about each other, and that's fucking insane. And stuff, the entire and stuff like series 5, 6, 7, she's in it. I mean, there's plot issues, but I still quite like this.
I don't like mechanically that. Okay, because as previously established, there was the Doctor was supposed to die at Chancellor, and then the timeline was changed by something. I don't like that the 12th Doctor is the one that set up the events of Science of the Library. because the 12th Doctor only came about after, like, in terms of meta time, after the name of the Doctor. Because at the time of name of the Doctor was still supposed to die as the 11th. So
Yeah.
I don't think that works mechanically. Well, aside from that, I'm fine with the rest of the episode conceptually. It's just that I have an issue with the base premise.
That's a cool looking robot. Give it that.
Yeah, it's and also introduce Nardo. Well, that's a fucking
Okay, Red, name one thing cool about it.
It looks like Baymax.
Okay. Yeah, I was expecting you to say it doesn't have a head. It doesn't have a head, and I'm gonna be like,
yeah.
So that the whole premise of this robot is that it keeps putting on heads.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's how it works. So
Yeah, I'll stick to my Baymax answer.
yeah. Yeah. Okay. Next. Yeah, we just gotta hit on next one.
So the return of Dr. Mysterio.
A clear homage to the first Richard Donner Superman. Not even. I mean, it's like I haven't even watched Richard Donner Superman before I seen this special. I mean, I see it now. It's like it's so clear that it's just the first Richard Donner Superman.
I think it's more. I feel like it's more of an homage to the superhero genre, like in general. Maybe more specifically, Superman. But like, I don't know. I like it.
Yeah, I like it. It's like you're just like there's a lot of scenes just like parodying that movie. It's like holy shit. I mean, I like it. I think it's fine. It's like that I'll say it's fine. For writing quality wise, it's fine. There's like so many like things and like White Goku just like yeah.
I'm gonna say it.
Go ahead.
White. Yeah. Okay.
I think it has better characterization than the Church on Ruby Road.
White Goku. It's like there's some good characterization, but it's like White Goku is like I'm gonna retire at the end. I was like what? I was like, damn, you can still do stuff. It's like that wasn't, and it's like, and because Marvel had to explain away why is this superhero doesn't exist anymore. It's like he just retired at the end. It's like his wife convinced him to just like okay maybe keep the suit just in case, but it's like nah. I was like that's kind of my biggest problem. Just there's great characterization. Just like that. I mean, at the end, just
to be fair, in the Doctor universe, there's so many fucking things happening at once on Earth at any given moment, like that could end the world. That it's when you have several different groups of people dealing with it, it kind of helps in terms of world building. At the same time, it's like
the Marvel issue, or
just like. No, just the plot stuff is just like how the fuck does this journalist just infiltrate this Lex Luthor compound? This is the best way I can describe it, and there's like the thing that crushes the ship just stops at the Superman's hand, and I was like no, it should be blow up on impact. It's like stuff like this, just like
no, but it's got the wish thing. It's got full kinetic control over the ship or something.
I guess. Well, to be honest, that was all I say. It's like I'll enjoy this. But it's fine.
Dr. Mysterio.
Yep.
Yeah, that leads us to our last Christmas special before the new one, the Twice Upon a Time.
I'm gonna say this. I wish the Doctor just died. Just died in the Doctor Falls.
Yes. Same.
Yes. I mean, they could have just like him dying and just the exact last scene just the same, and just like reasons he just remembers Clara again. I mean, you have Janet Coleman in a cameo, and the Doctor just do the speech. Like
or you can just do the thing that they literally did, which is he just has flashbacks to all of his companions, a la Tom Baker regeneration.
Yeah, and just like have this exact speech. I really love the speech, but it's like at the same time, it's like oh my god, that's a lot of bullshit. Like for the time travel, for this old soldier and robots, and it's like just like the first Doctor never regenerates. Like okay, I don't understand any of those. It's like just take this last scene, just put it in the Doctor Force, and that's it.
The be kind speech.
Yeah, and also
Yeah, I did.
yeah, and also the Clara one. It's like, oh, you're in my head. Oh, he remembers her. That's all. That's all I think.
See, David Bradley's first Doctor also there, so that's
Yeah,
seems pretty
just
cool.
yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, they could just have
I
like
love it how they kept making jokes about how he's not politically correct and of a bygone era of patriarchy and sexism and whatever the fuck.
he's just a grumpy old man. I mean, if they really want the first Doctor, just have the 12th Doctor travel back in time to the first Doctor. I mean,
But
they literally
that's what they did though.
yeah, yeah, that's true. Yeah, I know, but they introduced this that he can stop himself from dying stuff. I was like, holy shit.
I mean, yeah, that was established in Last of the Time Lords.
Yeah, I know. And yeah, that's kind of, to
Like
be
the
honest.
master did that.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. Damn. Jeez.
All right, and that was all the Christmas specials.
You know what's funny? It's that I believe that in the novelization of this episode, they established that like the first Doctor is not actually sexist or anything. He's just playing it up to embarrass the 12th Doctor.
I guess.
It's just like sure.
I guess so.
That sounds like cope.
Okay.
So yeah, that all leads us to our 2023 Christmas special. As mentioned before, 2018 to 2022 they did not have Christmas specials, so that's why we're not talking about the New Year's specials and all that. So
Yeah, and also
just
I do not
FYI.
and I do not want to explain any of those. It's just they're absolute bullshit, all of them.
What do you mean? The treasure of the sea devil, the best episode.
To me, Mario.
What?
Mario jumped. I was literally just laughing at it.
Oh,
The fish was just did a Mario jump.
yeah. So why don't we go through this? So it starts off with a narration. Basically, the 15th Doctor's just explaining that there was a mother walking a baby across with, going to a church and dropping her off so that, sets up our companion Ruby Sunday. Named after the fact that she was found on Ruby Road. So, that kind of stuff. And, I guess that continuing the tradition of starting the first special, the 60th special, with a narration as well. So there's that. Yeah. Obviously, this is like kind of like, I guess it's like in Medius Ras in a way, like, because I guess like you see the Doctor go back in time to that moment, but we see that scene again later. So yeah.
I mean, to be honest, watching this again just reminds me of the Disney movie called, what's it called? Meet the Robinsons. I don't know. Have you seen it? It's like a kid just abandoned in the road by a mother, and and he just wants to, and the person just have deal with time travel, just like wants to go to the past, just watch him, like see her again, stuff. So that's what it reminds me of the most.
Yeah, I think it's a common time traveler kind of thing, or I mean,
yeah,
usually it'd be like Ruby herself to see that, but yeah, that's not the case in this one.
I think there's a thematic reason for the Doctor to be the one to see it. Also, there's a narrative reason because Ruby was fucking erased from history.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of our starting point. And we kind of go through the day of Ruby, sort of.
The month.
So she's the month of Ruby. Yeah. Yeah, so like it starts off, I think, like around December 1st or around that time, like the first week of December, and they're just having she's having an interview with Davina McCall, just about how she doesn't really know her lineage, and basically Davina is like kind of offering a possibility that we can probably find out now that we have this advanced medical research and stuff like that we can probably try to figure out your lineage in that sense. So that's like at least our primary sense of Ruby's characterization, basically, um, which it kind of like goes a little bit with that. Somebody who was raised in an adopted family for 19 years. She's curious about her family lineage and all this stuff. And yeah,
That's kind of the one thing I appreciate about the characterization is that, like, yes, she is curious about her family lineage, but the adopted family that she has, she greatly appreciates.
yeah.
Yeah,
We're very, she's very happy with the life that she did get. She's just like interested.
yeah. She's like,
Right.
yeah, she's like, yeah,
I like that as well.
That's neat.
yeah, that's neat. And it's
Yeah.
like she's not just to hang on the past. So, I mean, she wants to know, just like, but she's not too
She's
latch
not
on
like
to-
Ray, who's gonna start crying when her parents are not important characters.
Yeah. Oh, it's like Ray stuff. Jesus.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Most likely. But yeah, while this interview is happening, we see little blue puppet hands and a little bit of a laugh happening in the background. Something is disturbing things. A blue hand
It's
is
Final
moving.
Destination.
Yeah, something is moving coffee cups
and just
and wiring points, electrical outlets and stuff like that. So causes one of the person trying to grab the coffee cup to trip over the wire, which was to pull it pulls a light towards Ruby, which luckily she avoided that contact. But something is fucking around with Ruby in that sense.
yeah, that's
And
that's what it's
Davina also gets hit in the head, hit in the back of the head with a electrical not a socket,
like just like some equipment. To be honest, to be honest, I should just ask my filming friend, just like, what is this equipment? I have no fucking clue for most of the time. And I started film. Holy shit.
I should probably
So that's
nothing.
Hmm.
I was saying we should probably like try to summarize quickly so we can get to the juicy bit, which is talking about the mechanics of all this shit.
Jeez. Next episode. So next
with this scene in particular, or
Oh no, nothing. Just like
okay.
oh no,
Yeah.
it's your show. Go ahead.
I think that's pretty much it in terms of summarizing the scene. If you wanted to talk about anything else,
No, I think I'm just over eager to get to the temporal mechanics.
No, it's like there's not really much. There's some like exposition about like who she is, what is her situation. Just she's happy. That's all.
Yeah, we'll
Just
get more on that in the later scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
But,
we kind of
I mean,
continue on.
Yeah. Ruby.
Through
I mean,
about 3 weeks later.
yeah, and Jesus like her personal life and stuff. That's
A
kind of
little
to
bit
be
more
honest.
about her personal life. Yeah,
And
she's
Goblin
in a
screwing
band.
her over. Yeah, Goblin screwing her over.
Yeah, and the doctor is keeping an eye on her.
Why?
That's the question.
No, I've seen the episode and I don't know why. Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself.
Oh.
Yeah. So yeah, basically we just see a little bit more about Ruby's life. In that sense, where something is fucking around with her, giving her bad luck, or making it seem like she has bad luck. Which will be explained shortly. But yeah, that basically the goblins are fucking around with her. They pulled out the electrical cord again for her keyboard. As the doctor watches, and then
Yeah, he dances.
cuts again to the 23rd of December, where she's at a bar. She's watching the 15th Doctor dance, which is catching her attention.
Yeah,
In
which
the
is
background, like a goblin hand is moving the cup of her gin like away, so that she
Good.
could eventually knock it over. But then the doctor catches it just in time, and
yeah.
so yeah,
And you're just like, hey, you have bad luck, and just like, yeah, I think it's something is worse. And then
Are we just gonna not talk about him teleporting?
yeah, that's that's
Yeah.
fast. I just expect some Jones like Smith and Jones stuff. It's like, oh, actually, that's a doctor from the past, from a future. Yeah, but no,
Nah,
yeah,
he did just teleport. They acknowledge that you were just over there. It doesn't explain.
It's it's kind of a thing Russell T Davies does every now and then. It's
looks cool.
you've seen series 2, so you remember that part in The End of the World where he's walking through the propellers?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a sort of like weird power that you actually give the Doctor. I mean, I guess Moffat did as well, and just made the Doctor be able to speak horse, baby, and door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the most common things I just hear, like in terms of the criticism of this show or of this episode, is really 15 dancing with a kilt. That and the song that happens later. But that's really, I mean, I don't really have a problem with him wearing a kilt.
I honestly have more of a problem of him being in the tank top than him being in the.
Yeah.
I'm fine with him being in a kilt. The second Doctor was interested in wearing a kilt ever since season 4, 5. And it's fine. It's just I don't know how I feel about him being in a tank top.
I guess the one question is like him dancing in a place like at a club, like in front of Ruby and all that stuff, which I guess it's clear to get her attention in some regard. We still don't really know why, and then we never do.
I mean, to be honest, it's just like protecting her. That's a best implication.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I guess.
I mean,
I can't really say anything like in terms of like, oh, the Doctor wouldn't dance at a club. If that was
the Doctor's whole thing is that he's out to get new experiences and explore.
I mean, fuck it, I do
see
that.
New things, do new things.
I mean, to be fair, I do that all the time. I just dance in clubs alone. I mean, it's sad, but you know that's what I do.
It happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's kind of what you got. You have they have their first interaction. As we mentioned before, she says she's a klutz, but you know it's kind of worse than that.
Yeah.
Kind of leaves her at that. Merry Christmas, Ruby, and he's off. Yeah.
And then next scene.
Then the next scene.
This is
basically.
Let's just say it. This is a scene because Disney wants Russell T Davies to have the Doctor do more beforehand. So Russell T Davies write the scene.
Rewrote the scene.
Yeah. I mean.
Basically, Ruby is kind of talking to her friends about the string of bad luck she's been having recently. You know, things like what happened at the interview. She lost her job, and things like that. Yeah. And apparently her seatbelt isn't working either. So that's Yeah, so that kind of stuff. Then doctor's watching the taxis going away, and all of a sudden he sees that the snowman, the giant snowman, is like starting to fall. So he uses his sonic to turn on the traffic sign to make it go. Which then the taxi gets out of the way. But then a lady who looks like she's holding a baby in a stroller is walking in, so he tries to get it out of the way, which the snowman head falls on him. He's fine.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I mean, it's fine. I mean, to be fair, the doctor is like really durable. He's a Time Lord. He's not a person. He's like, he's like he once like took a lightning bolt in the face, and he just can't just fall from space. But to be fair, I think that's bullshit as well. But that's
Yeah,
it.
because the fourth Doctor died from falling from less high.
Yeah, and even just the end of time, just like the Doctor just jump off a spaceship and he just fall off the glass to the building inside, and he struggles to get. He has to slowly get up and just clearly hurts. That's just like yeah. But to be fair, he's much durable than normal human being. It's like, I'm fine. Also, it's not like made of like metal or something. It's just cloth. It's like just it's really terrible. It's just like, it's easy breakable. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the woman isn't carrying a baby. It was just her groceries. Well, I guess wasn't grateful that he saved her life, but that's what can you do, really?
I mean, some people are just.
It's not really the point.
Yeah.
A police boy comes over and he's like, trying to ask the doctor, like, he has to report it in. So I did like the exchange, like, name the doctor, profession, not a doctor.
He's a police officer. Being a boy has nothing to do with it.
Okay.
Yeah,
I mean, he's clearly young.
Yeah,
I know.
That's what I meant. But,
to be fair, a lot of people are just so sensitive with pronouns in UK. I was like, there's several times I mislabeled some of them, just like, no, that's a they. It's like, okay, it's like that. It happens. Yeah, it happens. Like, UK.
I know. I was doing a reference. It's all right.
Yeah.
Okay, it's fine.
Fair enough. Yeah, it was a pretty. I like that exchange. I think Gatwa has like a lot of charisma.
Yeah, and just
in the
role. And yeah, he could just leave, and he just like, hey, you got a proposal in Christmas, and and she's gotta say yes, and just like, it makes him happy. So
yeah,
that's Christmas spirit. I like that, even though this is a rewrite apparently, or I write reshoots.
Yeah, I honestly don't know what the point of this whole scene is.
To me, I just like there's some good characterization for a doctor for just he cares, he likes everyone. Yeah, that's to be fair. That Russell T Davies intended this to be another new era. I don't even know what to call for this. I'll just call this Series 14 low.
Yeah, it's I guess like new Who, meaning that kind of thing, or but it's like newer.
I think it's. It feels like the change between like MCU's Phase 4 to Phase 5,
Yeah,
or like it should have been later, but now the change is earlier, which means nothing. Like in concretely, it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah,
it just means that this is the start of a new thing. The bad thing is over.
Okay,
Get excited.
I was like, I don't even know what to call it. It's like, just like Series 14. This is still new Who. Fuck you, Russell T Davies. I'm not gonna call you anything. Yeah.
I'm gonna be based and call it Season 40.
Okay. Yeah. Season 40. Fair enough.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's generally the thing. I mean, a lot of this is just kind of small and simple scenes.
Yeah, but I like those. It's Christmas spirit.
I think we get a little bit more.
For Ruby.
Well, I guess. Yeah. So we see her get go back to her apartment. Well, but first, like, there's like an argument with Mrs. Flood and another guy. Basically, she's criticizing him for putting a blue 1950 police box in front of her house, and that's like annoying her. Which I don't know. That's kind of an odd thing to blame one person to do that himself. Which obviously the doctor, but that's not the idea.
Yeah,
But
there is one person that put it there with you.
yeah, yeah, just not the one that she's yelling at. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So they're
And
just
so yeah, she just like
having that conversation. She's just while Ruby's talking to Mrs. Flood, the goblin is scratching her grocery bag so that when she turns around, it rips and drops the eggs, basically. So yeah, that's
Are goblins known to sabotage stuff? I thought those were gremlins.
I don't know. It's just-
I thought it was gremlins as well, and they kind of look like gremlins. The design that they chose.
And also they're on the flying aircraft.
pirate ship. This is just a flying pirate ship.
A goblin ship, yeah.
I know. No, what I mean is that gremlins are known to be like on the wings of planes and stuff.
Yeah, I guess I'm not that good at mythological subject. It's like, jeez.
Yeah, they do look like gremlins. They act like gremlins in a sense as well, because I don't think goblins are.
The only goblin aspect is that they gobble you up.
Yeah. 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 We'll get a little bit more into that. That aspect once we get to them. But yeah. Basically, you just have Ruby talking to her, foster mother and foster grandmother, Carla Sunday, and Cherry Sunday.
Yeah.
We just kind of get a general idea that one, they're getting another newborn baby on Christmas Eve, which is there's some coincidences there. That's a coincidence because Ruby is born on the 24th of December, and she was a newborn when she became a foster child. So that's some coincidences which will become relevant in a bit. But yeah, they're basically just having the general I'm so lucky to have you as a daughter.
Just
that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Which I guess, to be fair, like in terms of like why is she mentioning that now? It's like, I guess, like when you have a newborn child, like you're kind of reflecting back on the old one, which she's also in the room right now.
She's also been making active attempts at locating her biological family recently. So I guess
Yeah. So it's like
and she's just trying to if we ever see your mother again, like I'll let her know that you were like the best thing that happened or something like that.
Yeah. And they call this baby what do you think they called? Do you remember what they called her? The name?
I do.
Well,
first of all, they made like, I hope it's not like, I hope she's not named like something Christmassy, like Noel or Carol or Jolly or whatever. Yeah. And then like they gave her actual name, and it's like it's Lulu Bell, and it's like, oh, that's fucking shit.
I was like, I was like, do you remember Twilight? It's like, do you know what they call like Mackenzie Foy's character? Like what? Renesmee. I was like, fuck. And people just make fun of that
or whatever.
Yeah. It's like fuck. And they just call her Lulu Bell. It's like, what the fuck?
All I remember for that is the amazing line: "You named my daughter after the Loch Ness monster."
Oh man.
Oh my lord.
Yeah, so after that conversation, Cherry Sunday has a bit herself, like she's wanting her damn cup of tea. So there's that. And Lulu Bell comes in. I think the person in charge of the fostering system, she's kind of like asking, like, why don't you like move to a lower flat so it's easier for the grandma, but she doesn't want to. She's like comfortable where she is right now. So, there's that. And Ruby is Ruby eventually has a phone call, which we'll get to. But, they're
Yeah.
just getting happy with the baby and all this stuff, while
Yeah.
also not liking the name. Yeah.
Hmm.
So far nothing crazy. Nothing crazy going on. And then yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah.
So
Yeah.
I guess
Davina
before this picture, basically,
McCall.
so we do get the call with Davina McCall, and
Oh, by the way, she's a real life person who played by the actress who's also called Davina McCall. So that's so if you're wondering.
What a crazy coincidence that
Yeah.
they took an actress named Davina McCall to play a character named Davina McCall. That's
Oh.
how crazy is that?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Also, she looks just like the character.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So basically, in the call, she's saying, obviously, like, I don't want to give you bad news on your birthday, but we didn't find anything with
you could
regards
just
to your
do it
ancestry.
tomorrow. You could just do it like the next day or so, but sure.
I mean, I don't think you want to know that on Christmas either, but
Well, a few more days
yeah.
later, but like
Yeah, I
after
guess.
Christmas. Yeah.
Yeah, but then the thing that's gonna happen to her is not gonna happen, which
Yep.
basically, like, well, first, like, before we say that, Ruby is asking, like, there really is nothing, like, like, no blood samples, no previous DNA samples or anything like that. It's like, we really got nothing. Obviously,
Like
Ruby's
she is sad about it, but then rationalizing it by questioning like the likelihood of
Yeah.
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 It's neat.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, and she is still happy with her foster mother and
Yeah.
grandmother as well. So I do like this aspect of the story.
Yeah, it is just about the most meaningful aspect of this story.
That's also true.
Yeah,
But yeah, so she tries to change the subject. It's like, has any bad luck have been happening lately for you? Because, like, ever since I last talked to you, I've been, like, bumped into. I got hit by things. I got ran over by a moose
like,
at one point.
You should be in hospital.
Also, why did you find a moose in England?
Well, to be fair, I think you can. There's a lot of grasslands. Well, actually,
but moose are. I didn't know moose were like. I didn't know England had a moose population. I thought.
What? I think so. I'm not sure because she said she's on.
She said she fell off of a boat that was on land.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, maybe she's in another place or something. Most in UK. Let me look it up. Most in UK.
Yeah. But yeah, as you're doing that, basically all these things are happening, all these things she's being said, and then while the phone call happens, we see the goblin hands again. They knock the Christmas tree over and hit Davina. Which I mean, my whole thing is like, why are they fucking around with Davina as well? Because clearly, they clearly said, like, later that they're fucking with Ruby because of the baby that was coming around. So, like, I don't know what the point is fucking with Davina now, but that's my only comment on that. But yeah, the tree falls on Davina mid call. Obviously Ruby can't really react because she can't see what happened.
And then there's a photo. It's like there's a photo on the like under the bed, and just like this is not even like just normal camera. It's just a camera, just like you take it and you immediately just like have the photo. It's like,
she hears in the baby monitor "Happy Birthday," a lot of goblin laughing, and then here's a noise from the room, and the baby's gone. And then she finds the goblin eye, and then she's hearing noise from the roof. So she goes up, and there they are, the fuckers.
Yeah, so it's like and it's like, hey, are you hissing at me? I was like, I'm gonna. Are you hissing me? It's like, to be fair, it's just goblins.
It's like, what the hell? What are you? That was said first, which I guess like I know it's referencing Twitter criticisms is not ideal, but like some people are saying like, oh, like why are you asking if it hissed at you? It's a goblin. You should be. It's like it's like a magical
I mean,
creature. So why are you?
I just took it as like this is just like typical Russell T Davies
Yeah,
bantery dialogue.
Yeah,
yeah,
just normal.
That's how Russell T writes characters. That's
yeah. And to be fair, she did react first, like, what are you? And then it hissed at her, and then she snapped back as a thing. So
Yeah,
I there
hold
is
on.
that. There is
Yeah,
that. And then like
wait.
obviously then she loses her focus because like she just realized I'm on the roof. Yeah.
Like, you just want to get the baby back because she's tasked to take care of it. So fine. And honestly, I haven't climbed that high before.
does the baby look weird on that shot, or is it just me?
It's probably the compositing.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
just
But
just
I could see that, yeah.
or it's just a toy, not a real baby. That's also fair. By the way, I need
Yeah,
to go to the bathroom. Hold on a second.
sure thing. Yeah, so basically the goblins are taking up the I guess it's a little funny that this goblin has a Christmas hat on. That's
It is.
yeah. Outside of that, yeah, so the they're climbing up the ladder, which Ruby instinctively just goes right after and just jumps on as well. And you got she's trying to climb up, but obviously it's kind of hard to do that on a raising ladder, which it just reminded me of the empty child when what do you call it? When
Rose.
Rose is like holding onto the rope. And I think Victorian Clara did a similar thing as well, like a ladder from the sky or something.
Yeah, but that was an actual like ladder.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that's when the doctor pops in.
I feel like a ladder, like especially like this, is like one of the easier thing to climb.
Yeah. So I'm back. So what did I miss?
Yeah, just saying that the Ruby like when they climb up, Ruby just jumps right after, despite scared, but like still gotta get the baby back. So
Yeah, and
so you got that, and then you got I also mentioned that I remember Rose just climbing a rope, like holding on. Then I talked about Victoria and Clara with the ladder, but that was a different context. But yeah, now you got Ruby's hanging on, but then the doctor just pops in, and he's asking the questions like who just sees a ladder from the sky and just jumps on. But they got the baby, so there's that. Well, I guess the first question is what was the doctor doing there? But considering that he's been keeping an eye, quote unquote, on Ruby, so
I don't
I
I
don't
think
really.
it's more likely than not he was keeping an eye on the goblins.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah, to be honest, they just explained just like their time travel. So the doctor probably realized that just like something is wrong with them. So just keep an eye on them.
Excuse me, time travels is insulting. Those are great. They're time writers, but
Yeah,
yeah.
I was watching the episode with WoW. And the bit where the doctor says like the time travelers are the best, like wow, and everybody laughed. There's a guy in the call called WoW, so it's
Oh,
Mm.
so it's
right.
like, oh my god, WoW is a time traveler.
Mm.
Shout out to WoW.
Yeah.
But yeah. So we see the we see 15 jumps on as well. He introduced himself as the doctor, which Ruby recognizes him from the bar. Still focusing on the baby, but
Yeah,
like she's losing grip because obviously when you're hanging up like that. So
You know, what would
fifth,
have been neat
yeah.
for to set up the thing at the bar, like to explain the teleporting thing, is if the doctor like didn't know, didn't recognize her, or whatever, like a la Smith and Jones.
Hmm.
Um,
yeah, and I've seen that episode.
he's like, I don't. It's like, I recognize you from the bar. It's like, oh, okay, that's news to me. Anyway,
Yeah, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, and then actually that actually got an answer. It's like, why you throw a tire? It's like, I was like, okay, that's Smith and Jones. They probably like the best companion opener episode.
I heard it's up there.
Yeah, I think it's the best one really. After my current rewatches for like for roles, we'll talk about that later. So
Yeah. But yeah, that's so he pulls out some gloves. He said he's been inventing them to like, super gloves that basically like if you put them on, they'll basically put all the weight into the glove. Um so yeah, I mean I guess like one thing I have heard people theorize, which it doesn't really mean anything, but I guess could be cool. It's like, like it's like 13 used to like invent things in her
did
era.
she?
So
no,
but
she just invent the sonic screwdriver and that's it.
Quote unquote invent
invent.
a pre-existing device.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, but I guess it doesn't really matter who invented what. But yeah, that's just something I read. But yeah, so they get to kind of explain the mechanics of the super gloves while the ladder is pulling them up. So I mean, he does say some more things about the goblin and the goblin ship and things like that, but we'll kind of cover that uh, with
Yeah,
that introduction, which
and so they got captured. The
they got
first thing is
captured.
what the fuck is there no? Why is there no goblins looking after them?
Yeah,
Because they're all at the musical number.
Yeah,
of course.
yeah, of
And
course.
also like question like how do goblins capture giants? But I guess
To be fair,
it
but
would
to
be
be
more
fair,
I guess
that's
they
because
didn't. I guess there's
of the
many
jump
of
cut.
them.
that's fine. To be fair, I'm fine. There's like a ton of them. They can just carry them with like a hut. It's like you can just like have 50 of them carry one of them at once.
Yeah.
Mm.
So they're tied up. Ruby and Doctor are kind of talking. Like
Yeah,
how did you like find me, or about all that stuff. And then he was saying that he's been keeping an eye on the goblins because they like he's currently learning a new language of luck, which basically he's saying that goblins they as they like to gobble you up. That's what they're called, goblins.
He says that like they
Yeah,
like that when accidents happen to you, it bakes you into the timeline of the day, which I guess makes some sense.
yeah,
Because the way,
right.
go ahead.
Yeah, so basically, like they wanted to they wanted to basically eat Lulu Bell because she's like covered with what's called coincidences, like which in the sense like you know the baby happens to be the like a newborn child that was adopted on the 24th of December, which her foster sister was also that when she was adopted. Um, then they're kind of furthering the coincidences, like it's almost 2 o'clock, which they think that's when she was born.
to be fair, there's a lot of things before that. So Jesus.
Yeah, there's a lot more stuff there, but that's basically like that's basically Doctor explaining like why they want Lulubelle because she has so many coincidences that makes her more and more tasty to them.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
they've been fucking with Ruby for like weeks because
yeah, which
because
is
like it
fine.
because it adds more to the like they basically weaved her into the time thing.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean, okay, so the way time works in Doctor Who is that like new events can happen in the past, like spontaneously, basically, or
yeah,
as a byproduct of a whole bunch of time travelers running around. Um, so but like the general lines of history, like the main points that can be moved, like are generally not going to be affected. Like it's the effects of the new events happening in the past is going to be very limited. So it kind of makes some sense that like the more of an impact you have in just basically the events of the day, the more important you are to the timeline. That makes some sense.
I
That
mean, to be,
that
yeah,
an accident happening basically puts you at the cause of a more than average event
uh,
for a
yeah,
day.
yeah. Regardless, there's bound to be someone just like have the birthday just happens to be with the another person's birthday at the same day. So there's a billion
Yeah,
people on Earth, so
that
it's
but
like
like I guess like they're factoring in like she's also adopted from a newborn on that day as well, which obviously you could pinpoint that even more, but like the fact that there's two newborn adopted babies on Christmas Eve is yeah, that kind of thing in the same foster family and that kind of stuff. So obviously,
yeah,
like you gotta narrow it down at some point, and if that's like the way you're writing it, because I could imagine that being like a nightmare to think about in terms of if we really factor in every possible scenario of that.
I mean, I feel like this seems like a pretty easy thing to do.
no,
Like if your whole story is like, well, it's a coincidence, so like whatever. Like you can just do whatever kind of crazy coincidence you want to have.
yeah.
Yeah, I
I mean,
mean,
it's
I
fine.
did kind of laugh at the. I'm just studying the language of luck because like there's a lot
Mm.
of luck in Doctor Who, but
Well,
that's
some are
a different
intentional, some
problem.
are just absolute bullshit. So that's how it
Yeah,
is.
Yeah.
but it is what it is.
So
Um, I think
so
there was a bit more
yeah, there's a bit more.
outside of that.
There's several lot of things. I mean, yeah, that's a and yeah, this scene is just explaining a lot of mechanic side. Just and here's like that Sonic. It's like there's like one thing. It's like the Sonic could not affect ropes. And it's like no, actually it does. If you've seen Demons of the Punjab, it does. That
Yeah,
happens.
but you know the Russell T Davies has probably not seen Demons of the Punjab, despite he's don't worry, yeah, Russell T is not gonna undo or fix up the work of his good friend Christian Mill. Also, he has not seen Demons of the Punjab. Also, this is season one.
I mean, the episode is shit, but this is your job. You're paid to.
Yeah, so apparently the Sonic can't work on the ropes here.
And I mean, if
I
someone
mean,
Well,
wants,
I
I
guess
guess
these are luck based ropes or whatever. Fine.
whatever.
yeah.
I mean,
Um,
one thing for
I guess
I think
another
for
thing people mentioned as well, just before we get to that, he does break out of the bonds, which he explains that he had a hot summer with Harry Houdini,
I thought that was
yeah,
a wet weekend.
which
yeah,
that's what 13 said.
yeah,
I guess shut up about
yeah.
it. I guess.
Yeah, it's like yeah, but what I think one thing to clear because a lot of people just like the Sonic doesn't work on wood. It's like well that's fixing Day of the Doctor, so there's that.
And we see 14 use it on Mortar in the Star Beast. I don't know, but like as
Also,
like
Yeah,
I,
they
the
recalibrated in Day of
13th
the
Doctor
Doctor.
referred to a wet weekend with
a wet
Harry
week.
Houdini.
Jeez.
Yeah,
Yeah, so it's like I just assume just the 14 just fucked them. I don't even want to remember that episode. Jesus Christ.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah.
no, because the fifth Doctor had a whole adventure with Harry Houdini where he tried to revive the master or some shit.
Yeah.
Hmm. So
Yeah.
yeah, as you
I
mentioned
don't think
before,
it's a sex thing. It's been a
no.
long-standing thing.
Obviously, you could imply
Also,
it.
if
Yeah, but
anybody fucked Harry, it wouldn't have been the 13th Doctor. It would have been one of the early ones.
Yeah.
most likely.
Yeah.
Maybe all Bill Hartnell got frisky.
Yeah. So as he mentioned before, like goblins are time riders. Which when she said like what do you know about bimbling, time traveling? Which then we talked about how it's insulting to call them time travelers. I will come back to that, especially with what happens
Later.
for the third act. But like, it kind of implies that they're not very good at time traveling.
Yeah, it implies that their ability to travel through time is contingent on some naturally occurring stuff.
Right.
Yeah, they're just being fake about it, just like because it's bimbling, low, whatever the fuck that means. It's just not very good at it.
Hmm.
Yeah. I'll kind of go more in depth with that once we get to that part in the third act.
Could
But
have
yeah,
something to do with the coincidence thing. Like maybe you just maybe it's like everything everywhere all at once kind of mechanics where like you create enough coincidence, it launches you into another time period, or like the origin point of the uh
Yeah.
coincidence or something like that.
Yeah.
It could be something interesting there. Too bad it's never developed.
yeah, that's kind of the thing about the goblins in general. They're just kind of an afterthought.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
so now we can talk about the language of the rope.
It's kind of most of the episode, to be honest.
Yeah, and then so yeah, they just unlock the rope. I said there's some nice interactions, like getting to know each other. That's fine.
Yeah, so he finds this particular rope that opens the latch that opens the door. Um, so I'm learning the language of the rope, whatever that means. And then yeah, they
And he
finds
means
another
that like it's a technology type that is reliant on ropes.
right.
So he's
Yeah.
like trying to ascertain like what is like it's not really a language, it's more like
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
a science. More.
Right. And then you also have the because like she asked, like, we can't really just walk around on the ship because we're giants. So she says, like, so even with the old goblin ship, you still got things like a ventilation shaft, which that opens the ventilation shaft when he
Yeah,
touches another
massive
rope.
fucking ventilation shaft that is twice
Yeah,
the size of a human, even though these guys are tiny.
Yeah.
just enough space for some humans to crawl
Yeah,
conveniently.
it's enough space for a fucking like 5 goblins could stand shoulder to shoulder in there, and
Yeah. They should just make the.
That's
They
a
should just
cool.
make the. To be honest, they should just make the goblin just a bit bigger, and that's all you need. Just make them bigger.
Yeah.
I'll just
That's
say that
that's
there's.
what I'm saying. Like they're too gremlin looking, and
Yeah.
that
Or
kind of
just.
stuff. So it
Or
is
just.
kind of odd. Like, why are they goblins?
Yeah.
But
It's like it's weird.
yeah,
It's like all they have to do is just like okay, there's different size
also
of the goblins. Yeah.
what is the point of them going in a ventilation shaft if there's nobody in the corridors anyway?
I have no idea.
yeah, because everybody is at the dinner, and plus, like even
Yes,
then,
like
like
they
they could
could
like
have just like
they could just
they
step
could
over them.
literally have busted through a bunch of floors on their way there, and nobody
Yeah,
would notice.
and you could just walk over them.
Yeah, it's like yeah. That's a. So to be honest, I
But
think
the reason why is because we need to hear a goblin song,
just
um,
yeah, that's a promo. That's in promotion already.
which is in a lot of the promotions. Yeah.
I mean, I didn't hear it, so I just know it. I didn't bother to hear it. I just want to hear it in the episode itself. Yeah. So
So yeah, they're basically the goblins are just singing about they want to eat the baby,
Oh God,
And
Unity, is that a cameo by Cassandra, the last human in the background there?
oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh my
Damn, maybe. Jesus. Maybe it is.
Uh, yeah, so they're just basically singing about how they want to eat the baby, season it up, and all that stuff for the Goblin King. Which that's what it looks like.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
Jabba
And
the Hutt.
I was like, yeah, this is why I just said they should have just have different size of goblin to better justify things. You have this size.
For
Mm.
the king, yeah.
Yeah.
So one thing I did mention before, like, in the special behind the scenes for this one, apparently Russell T Davis explained that like, because of the toy maker's shenanigans, uh, it kind of opens the floodgates for fantastical things.
I mean, to be fair, that's God, so I don't
So
mind it.
the goblins are a product of that. Because like I believe like I've heard he's used like other mythical kinds of things like werewolves and zombies and ghosts and things like that. But there's always like a sci-fi explanation as to how those are there. I think with the goblins now it's kind of like, yeah, we're just gonna use fantasy now.
Didn't they have like
The
didn't they have,
EU fan in me. Go ahead, Unity.
didn't they have like Zeus like didn't they have Zeus in the comics or something? Like the gods of Ragnarok. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
those are actually.
Zeus is a thing in the novels.
It was like you didn't really have to justify it. Just like even if a novel just like here's mythical creatures done.
I guess
I
like
mean,
Santa Claus, but like Santa's real.
We'll talk about. Well, yeah, we're not gonna spoil. That's a spoiler. So
Okay.
yeah.
well, the way it works in the expanded universe is that, well, first of all, the history or like time moving linearly is not inherent to the universe. It's something that like that, and also the laws of science were like there was a time early on in the universe left this lifetime where like everything was out of whack. Like there was no time, there was no laws of gravity or anything, and so the Time Lords came in and just molded the entire universe to be quote unquote rational. The eradicated magic and all that, and so that's why like it's the main universe is um doesn't have magic usually, but
Oh,
like there could be if you were to uh just undo a bunch of the locks that the Time Lords put on the universe.
yeah. To be honest, yeah. I guess. With that,
This is deep lore shit that only I know.
yeah,
Right.
it's because I've seen it's like wow, that's Zeus. It's like, is there a lore? Is this an alien or some shit? It's like I don't know.
Yeah. So yeah, that's basically what they're. There really isn't much to say about this because the goblins don't really have anything else outside of they just want to eat a baby that's seasoned with coincidences.
You know what would be fun if they have a bunch of mythological magical creatures? They should have a bunch that are based on the myths of other planets that we know nothing about.
Huh.
Like I don't know, like how the Tocklefane were like a nursery thing of Gallifrey. Like just do a thing like that. Just a fake fairy tale creature from another planet, and be like, yeah, that thing's not supposed to be real, but now it is because fiction is seeping into reality or whatever.
Yeah, it's just yeah. That's
They're
kind of
probably
how.
not gonna do that.
Yeah, that just
Gonna,
yeah, yeah. That's what they say, and so and then I mean that's kind of just they just sing a song. I mean the song it's weird. It's fun. It's weird. Cool, I guess.
yeah. I don't know. I guess like this was a turnoff for a lot of people, especially when when the Doctor and Ruby also sing, afterwards.
They drop down. It's like I just
Which
stand.
obviously him singing is just kind of like as a distracting point.
To be fair, I
Um,
just assume this is their plan. This is the doctor's plan. They just want to go to the fan, drop down, just have the rope thing just tied up there. Just like
I'm
instead of just going around the corridors. That's what I think. So it's okay. Just reach the baby immediately.
I'm fine with the doctor singing. I find it weird that Ruby is so quickly and so easily slips into it.
yeah, I guess like the
Like she's not used to this kind of situation. The doctor is. So the doctor also has like a super brain or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm fine with the doctor being able to like seamlessly just come up with a continuation of the song and then just like keep going. I find it weird that Ruby is able to as easily.
The only thing with Ruby I'll say is like because they they do have her with the I know like the band is kind of like a thing. I think they should have just had a mic on her because like she was singing along to the song or something like that.
She was playing the synth.
She was playing the keyboard, but like she was kind of like singing to herself, like along with like there's it's a quick shot.
The main singer.
Yeah, or it's like it's either that or like
just
like if she does like harmony or anything like that, like she doesn't have to be the lead singer.
Because in that scene, wasn't there like a lady in the audience asking the singer to like sing something else, and then the singer like what?
Yeah, it's like that. Yeah, it's like that.
You could have used that to set up that like
hello
Sty.
Yeah, hi.
Sty.
How
are you guys?
Doing good.
We're fine.
So ready for this Happy New Year?
Yep.
They could have used that scene to set up like she's able to easily pick up new songs or like easily get into like the vibe of new songs or like the melody.
Yeah, that's
whatever.
I do think like Ruby did I do think Millie Gibson did a pretty good job like in terms of like you see her like her facial cues like and like you kind of hear some like off beats of like coming into the line, but it's like not like off to the point where like like she's thinking of the line in her head while like you can see like she's thinking.
It's like what did the lady
That's one thing I'll give her credit for in terms of the acting aspect. In terms of the story, I just think I do think like they should have probably had like I think just having a second mic of her like harmonizing or like her singing with the lead singer could have at least like benefited it of some regard.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't know.
Otherwise, it's too off the cuff, which is
maybe
despite
maybe the doctor
despite her using like how diddly did you, which
maybe the doctor like sang a bit that's meant to be repeated and then just like point at her like and like keep going and then like then she sings like she awkwardly sings the same thing he did and then like then he keeps going and then she keeps going and whatever like maybe you could have done something like that.
Yeah, I'll just just like have her just I don't know. It's like just have her just like she can improv a song immediately. Just like, that's a setup. It's like just like go karaoke because I do karaoke all the time. Just like
or the bar.
For the record, this is not the first time the doctor has partook in a musical number.
Oh yeah.
I could definitely believe that. Yeah, but they're pretty good singers. I'll give them that. Yeah, so they're just singing and they're like they're
and the thing is like my thing is like before they sing they basically took the baby and now the goblin just like stop him. They just tackles him. I was like you could just have the scene play in reverse. Basically, they drop in, they sing, and then they slowly take the baby because they didn't realize it, and then they drop it. That's all you need. Just have them sing first before they take the baskets. I was like, that's really it's a quite simple fix. They just didn't bother with.
Yeah. That's essentially the thing. I mean, because like the goblins, they just kind of like they kind of vibe too because the song is back on and now, they don't really react in any sense. Like, the song happens, the rope is dropped, and
what should we do? I think that's
they put on the super gloves again.
And I think that's why I think that's why they go to the fan. Just like so, this is a quick escape. quick get in, take it, and just escape itself, just going around. I was like, I think that's explained it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
So yeah, they do save the baby. There's some retaliation, but that's about it. They use the super glove basically like it can channel the weight into the rope, but that they can use it to like increase the strength so they can make them fall back towards the apartment basically.
Yeah.
And yeah,
And then just like, and then they went back. Baby is safe.
went back. The baby's safe, back in the crib.
There's like, and she was like, only 3% of the glove left. I was like, holy shit! How much? I was like, either you didn't charge the glove beforehand, or this drains battery fast.
Yeah, but if that
Yeah.
was the case, then how does the climax happen?
Yeah, I was like, holy shit!
That's-
It's just
that
that,
too.
just I was like, just cut that line. Just like, don't say that there's only 3% left.
I mean,
maybe
maybe
30%.
just change the line to 30%.
Or just
Yeah.
50. Jesus, 3%.
30, 50, yeah. Yeah, that's so that's that, and obviously they connect back with Cherry. Cherry is not sure about the doctor, but like, he's a nice guy, nice fellow.
Okay.
And then Carla comes back in. I guess like this part is like when like Ruby's introducing the doctor to Carla. I think they should have added like maybe like this is the doctor, but like she doesn't actually know his name, but like I don't know, I feel like when you introduce the doctor straight up to somebody who has no context, I feel like you're probably
I mean,
questioning like
didn't they say that
what's the
like
name.
oh this is the doctor, and then it's
No,
like,
they.
and then
No,
she immediately is like, oh, is Little Bell sick?
Yeah, just he routine
She thinks
checking.
yeah. I called the hospital, and now a doctor is here.
Yeah,
Right. Yeah.
yeah, it's fine. So,
Yeah.
and to be honest, you just like, if not, just like, here's my psychic paper. Done.
Yeah. Basically like they're also like, so Ruby and Doctor are also like in this moment like thinking about like how is it that the goblins were making things happen basically, like because like Doctor almost like trips over a wire of the lamp, and then like they realize that maybe these accidents that keep happening, maybe they do cause all of it to happen, which they go to the kitchen and like they just unplug things, they and then like they also see the photo of all 33 foster kids from her family. Yeah, there's some good character stuff in there as well. While there's some chaos going on in the background.
Yeah, and and there's like, she just goes to a fridge and it's like, here's 40. It's like, is it later or just before? Before before the, oh, it's like, I can't take this anymore because she has to hide it.
Oh,
like,
that's when Carla comes back.
yeah, so it's like they go to the kitchen and just like, oh, here's 43.
Well, the first thing that happens when he looks at the 33 pictures, he says that he was adopted as well.
Oh, right.
Yeah, which I think we can explain that more when in that conversation with the mom. Basically like she sees that the mom finds the goblin eye photo, and in that moment, like basically like Ruby's like kind of breaking down, like saying like, nothing has been working. It's been the worst Christmas, worst birthday. They called back and told her that she doesn't have they didn't find anything. And obviously, the Carlos is saying, I'm glad because
Yeah, I mean, it's like
Yeah.
this just like Ruby, just like oh fuck, because he can't tell her just like oh I got baby Lulu spells like some shit names got kidnapped by goblins in this pirate ship, and we just got back, so it's just like she just like Miss
Yeah,
Martin just like
doctor's saying you don't have to worry her, and it's like about like
yeah
the baby, but she was talking about herself in that moment, which is fair.
yeah, just like and she just
Then
yeah, that's a
then
smart move,
doc
yeah, that's a smart move, yeah.
yeah then doctor has he talks about how he's also an orphan, um, which I think you two know that what that means.
Yeah. After the flux, it's like after the Thomas Child in the flux, it's just absolute bullshit. It's like she's quote unquote adopted, is actually more like kidnapped, experimented, like I don't know, like Frankenstein.
Uh,
Yeah,
Frankenstein was created though. It wasn't experimented on.
it's
That's true.
yeah, that's
How many
uh
of you have heard the new Buffy audiobook? Once I finish Buffy and Angel, I'm gonna give it a read.
that's not canon technically. That's an alternative time. What if?
Yeah, isn't there also a comic book where Buffy fights the Xenomorph or something?
Yeah, there's some. Actually, after season 7, there's canon comic books after the show. It's like don't even read those. I read all of them. It's like fuck, Jesus.
Well, yeah. So you got your timeless child reference, uh, which Carla connects. Like that's 1 second. My internet is lagging.
Sure, we just wait. Jesus, I don't even remember which is 44. Yeah, she's gorgeous. 40 little bird. That was the 31st child I fostered. So many factors. Oh yeah. Oh my god, I've got the photos. Have a look in the on the fridge. They are there. I have some of them for days, some of for weeks, some for years, but only one of them stayed. Meaning Ruby.
Yeah,
Yeah, some good
and then
stuff.
basically doctor says like he's an orphan, which she says, oh, that's a coincidence. You're also a foundling. And then they're saying like we really don't want to hear about coincidences. And then he says something else about his past.
Yeah, it's like
Um,
adopted.
which
Like, yeah, it's like she's adopted. I was. How do you do? Who do you?
abandoned,
And it's like
which the foundling, yeah.
yeah, abandoned. It's like
Um,
yeah, technically yeah. After you seen the flux, you just like Tecteum cat pretty much abandoned her and just I don't fucking know what happened to the flux.
No. And you did take no. She was the timeless child was found at the bottom of a space butthole. And then Tecteon found her and then experimented on her when she found out that she could regenerate, and so like she kept regenerating into plenty of bodies, and then they invented regeneration, and then the timeless child became an agent of the division, and then they erased their memory, and then they became the doctor.
This is like some absolute bullshit. Like,
Yep.
I don't know.
um,
And then the
oh my
flux just
god.
like and then they just have Tecteum back in the flux. It's just like what the fuck is that? I was like and they just add even more bullshit. I was like I don't even remember what happened in the flux for Tecteum part.
Oh, I do.
It's
I
like
remember everything.
I only seen it once, and you just like, and you
You're
keep
not the
asking
only
people
one
just
with
like,
personal knowledge.
yeah, because you keep asking people just, do you want to watch the flux with me again and again? I was like, I haven't finished Chimno Era yet. So it's like, and I got to a flux. It's like, wow, that's worse than Loki.
Oh, have you not seen Power of the Doctor?
That's better than the flux.
I guess in a tech I guess technically it is. It's
It's it's like watching the Rise of Skywalker again. It's like so many shit happening at once. You don't even
yeah.
get time to think. And what's the
The
master?
only thing that gets given time to thinking is the master dancing to Rara Rasputin.
I was like, and this is the end. The master's plan. He's gonna steal his clothes.
It's the master's Dalek plan, guys. Because do you guys remember the Dalek's master plan? Well, we're doing that, but different. Because
Jesus.
fuck you.
What's this entire plan is just I'm gonna take the doctor's clothes and just pretend to be her, I guess. It's like steal her clothes.
You could just steal her clothes in her TARDIS and then do that anyway.
Yeah.
Mm. So yeah, the mom goes back to the baby. Says, "Looks like a little chicken. You could just eat her up," which that's a coincidence. All these coincidences being added up, and I guess just mentioning the coincidences is causing the lightning and crack in the ceiling.
I guess.
Which RTD mentioned that that's Matt Smith's crack. I don't even know what that means.
I do. It's a crack that exists beyond time itself. So even if you remove the wall, the crack still exists. Basically, some bullshit that Matt Smith doctor forgot set up.
The
But
thing though about that is that these cracks. I
yeah,
thought that the Translator one was established as being the last of one of them, and anyway, the
yeah,
thing that's beyond it is meant to be like Gallifrey in another dimension, but Gallifrey is destroyed now again.
yeah.
So what the fuck is the point of that?
I just like I just don't I just want Russell T to just shut up because you're not making things better by saying stuff. I just go with yeah, it just cracks because they time travel, I guess.
But Unity,
says-
Russell T said that bi-generation has now happened to all of the doctors.
Jesus.
Every
Oh.
doctor just pooped off into another being.
Like
Um,
just shut up, Russell T because you can write.
no, stop.
Please just shut up.
Look at him like,
There's
stop.
a lot of stuff in post episode breakdowns.
It's like she's like James Gunn for Guardians 3. It's like, okay, here's what it happens on Twitter. It's like, fuck, shut up. You're making things worse.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Oh man. So yeah, so the doctor goes and checks out the crack. It's going across the entire room. Then he goes back to
It's a
Carla.
parting gift, and that they finally got lucky, which I guess doesn't mean anything because it's not luck. It's based entirely on them deciding to leave or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
they're
then it's like
gone,
the-
which he thinks is lucky. So they goes back to the room.
And the doctor is
and-
like, oh yeah, they're gone, and just like, wait, something's not right. Where's Ruby?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Ruby's not there. He walks out of the room, checks outside, and then goes back inside. And
Well,
then
before that, there's some good stuff. It's like it's like, oh no, you
the
see
Orient.
yeah, because without Ruby, it's like she's not gonna adopt anyone aside from this one. Actually, just like 5 to 6 of them. So
I guess like what I liked about this, like in terms of like framing, it's just like a lot of these scenes are in the same apartment, which is like kind of like a theater tactic when you like kind of have the character walk around and then comes back, but then like the room orientation is different, the lighting is different, and all that stuff. So to kind of give it the sense that this is an alternate time, or like this is a different time in the point.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. To be fair, I just completed my pitch for the theater yesterday, so it's like that's basically how I need to do it.
Yeah. So like as someone who's done like theater before, like I appreciate it in that sense, like kind of like how he goes back to that room. It's now it's just a storage room, and then obviously like Carla and Cherry have very different personalities now. Carla is like super upset that like she has to take care of her sick grandmother and this. Well, the grandmother's asleep at 3:00. She could have had her free time, but now her 5th adopted child, Lulu Bell, is kind of like ruining her holiday, basically. And then obviously Cherry tells the doctor as well, like we've never been that blessed to have like someone to call my granddaughter or anything like that. So
yeah, so it's just like characterizing for Carla and just like how much like Ruby just changed her life.
yeah, and then like
then
the doctor's like saying like like that's not who you are. You're not that kind of person. You had all these children, and then he looks at the
like what was it, like $800 a kid or whatever? Uh, he's like, don't say it like that.
Yeah,
Those are people. Damn it.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he sees the photos, like all those lives are gone. Like the 33 to just 5.
And then she's
Um,
crying about it, but doesn't know why. And it's like Russell T Davies watched the Pandorica opens and then was like, I'm gonna do that again.
Jeez. It's like,
yeah, and then the doctor's also crying in that
Yeah.
I
exchange
mean,
as well.
yeah. Yeah, because
Because
the doctor said,
orphans
yeah.
Orphans, yeah.
orphans
Yeah.
are a trigger for him now.
Yeah, and so he says he's gonna go and fix it. So he goes back to the tart because well first he concludes that the goblins probably went back in time and took Ruby instead of Lulubelle. And that's kind of like one thing I wanted to mention is kind of like I so they said they're time riders, and what he's saying basically is they're not time travelers. So I guess like it's a skill disparation, I guess, which
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
like I guess like they're well obviously they have to have the capability of realizing that why don't we just go back in time and take Ruby instead of Lulubelle, which I don't know like
They could be using like the power of luck and coincidence to like piggyback onto but towards the origin point of the coincidence.
I
yeah
yeah.
yeah
Like you recreate such a perfect reoccurrence of an event that you get like springboard back into that event.
yeah.
yeah
You
I
could
guess
make something like that.
I
It's a
could see
shame they
that.
don't address any of that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
just like yeah, I just that low. It's like fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
so
so he goes back. He goes to the TARDIS. Goes back in time to the
So we
moment.
got several very important shots of that crack. That very important crack that plays such a part in the story.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like
Let's
Jesus.
just-
If they're like Matt Smith crashes, the doctor should be scared the shit out of it. It's like Jesus. Not them again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they go back in time. He. Yeah. The Doctor goes back in time to that moment. He sees the Goblin ship. So he runs in that direction. Well, he kind of does like a looks both ways. The mother running away, walking away, and
Yeah.
the
To
ship,
be hon- and the ship
which
is there. Yeah, sure. It was like sure. To be honest, I'm just surprised the mother doesn't even look at it. The TARDIS sound, but yeah, sure. I just assume she doesn't
it's
she doesn't take care.
snowing. There's wind. It's alright.
Yeah.
suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they go back. But he uses the 3% charged super gloves to basically pull the ship down.
Jeez.
And yeah, he pulls it down enough to the point where this the cross of the church basically pierces the Goblin King and kills him. And yeah,
That's how
it's
works.
pretty fast. The third act kind of ends like that.
Yeah, it's like it's
The baby falls and he catches her.
yeah, it was just like what? Yeah, I'm just like fast and just like here's a 3% charge. Like holy shit, how much is that? It's like how much is a battery? Just drain your gauntlet. I got no understanding.
Yeah, pulling down the entire ship. But
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, outside of that, it's like even then, it's like that's about it. Like, is what else is there really to say?
I mean, what
He
to be
saves.
fair, yeah,
He pulls down the ship, kills the Goblin King in the process, and then
and
catches the baby, gets it back for the
and
church.
and then
Yeah.
just and then just like rings the bell. I think like Robin's like also like the what's it called? Like fuck Meet the Robinson. Just like the person who rings the bell is actually the person who goes back to the past. So That's also what it reminds me of. So
So
and
what I think is here in the scenario, both in the flashback and this, which I guess is the same scene,
Yeah.
the doctor playing a hand in like saving Ruby, in that regard. Well, like I guess like the bell rings from the just being 12 o'clock, and then then they open the door and then take the child. But I guess that's the only
yeah,
thing.
which is fine. I don't mind. Just like just fun. And that, by the way, one thing do you guys notice? So the mother is walking away, and the and the doctor, well, after doing all those Mission Impossible shit, just like and goes back to the TARDIS. The mother is still not far away from the TARDIS. She's still walking away.
Yeah.
Maybe you should stop them to look at the fucking goblin ship. And then it was like, huh, that was weird. Anyway, let's carry on.
Yeah. The mystery box walking away.
She stops there. You don't see that every day.
Yeah. So I mean, there's the obvious question: killing the Goblin King. To be fair, I don't think the Doctor realized that, because he's not seeing in that
Doctor killing
perspective.
people. I'm fine.
To be fair, I just thought they just did it intentionally because that's the only way. He's so smart. He just calculated where the fuck with this Goblin King, and just like I'm got both sides. That's what I thought when I saw it.
Yeah, he just basically docks the ship, which happens to kill the Goblin King, which you can't see from the angle he's pulling the ship down. So I can't really fault him for like that. But then again, like the whole concept of it, is he okay with murder or not? Which I have seen discussions on that.
I mean, to be fair, it's pretty clear cut for us.
Yeah.
Like,
not to mention, like you consider the Goblin King plus in this reality, like in this other reality, like 21 of their kids are gone. So that there's kind of that as well. Not just Ruby herself. So obviously it's prioritizing their lives in that regard. But I don't think like there's enough like to say that he wouldn't do that. In my opinion.
I mean, it's like just there's a lot, to be honest. The doctor kills whenever like he has to. It's like do you remember? There's a lot of incidents. He just kills Cybermen and Daleks and stuff.
Yeah.
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 Do you remember when Graham locked some jaw in a forever prison and suspended animation forever, and then the doctor was like, "That's great that you did that instead of killing him." Even though, like in the one who fell to her, he's like, "Oh, I just put them in suspended animation forever." It's just like how morbidly obscene or whatever. Completely fucked up, and then it's like, great that you did that.
Yeah.
Do you remember the doctor just bomb a person in like what kablam? It's like, hey, I hacked inside that. You guys can just stop. No.
She's just simping for this mega corporation.
It's like, yeah, you just like stop and just like, no, come here, open the package.
The problem is not the system. The problem is the people who are exploiting the system.
I mean, it can work in a different context. Not this episode though.
Yeah. So yeah, that's basically how it ends. So it's pretty quick in terms of everything going on.
Yeah.
Ship is destroyed. Goblin King is killed. Ruby is caught. Puts her at the church door. Opens up. They take her in. Doctor goes back to the TARDIS, which he sees her mother. A mystery box for another day. Maybe not. Who knows?
By the way, the Mr. Flood guy saw the TARDIS disappear.
Yeah, so Mrs. Flood saw the TARDIS disappear.
I was like, people just like still assume that maybe she's some mystical being. I was like, no, she just saw it already. So it was like, she's just normal guy. She's just normal.
Unity, have you not seen the post-credit scene?
Huh?
The post-credit scene.
Yeah, I know. It's like I've never seen a TARDIS before. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, that's to be fair for me. She's just a normal guy.
How does she know about the TARDIS then?
Huh? She
How
saw
does
she
she know
saw
about it?
she saw it disappear and then appear again a
Yeah,
few
but-
times.
Well,
How does she know what a TARDIS has then?
but even
Right.
even if she does know or not, I think she's still talking into the camera,
Yeah, I got no idea. It's like,
fourth wall breaking wise. So
you know,
that part
just-
you can't really.
Yeah, I guess you
My only
just
thing
can't.
about the TARDIS is like I know like something that Unity told me during the giggle is like the Doctor is kind of like the president of the world in a sense, like he can give an executive decision or something like that.
That's only every now and then, and that's
Yeah.
it's not a permanent position. And also, the TARDIS is not part of that. Like people don't know.
Yeah.
About.
I mean, we're almost there. Basically,
Yeah.
basically things are wrapping up.
Yeah, just
Doctor
save
goes
her.
back to the present, and then Ruby's alive and well. The family's not destroyed. You know, happy endings and all this stuff. Then the Doctor realizes that he has to go back and save somebody else, so he does. Now Mrs. Flood is just very comfortable with seeing, you know, 15 going to the TARDIS, leaving and coming back and all that stuff. So he goes back in time to save Davina from getting crushed by the Christmas tree.
Yeah.
How did he know about that?
Time travel.
Time travel. I guess.
TARDIS knows
I
everything.
guess
That's what
the goblins.
I don't.
I
TARDIS
still don't know why the goblins were messing with Davina in the first place.
was
But
fun. That's
yeah,
what it is. They just want fun, I guess.
it was fun, I guess.
I was like that, but especially it's like the TARDIS just knows because it's a 11th dimensional being and it's alive.
Yeah. So yeah, she's saved. Merry Christmas, Davina, and goes back to the present again, and does the wrap ups here as well. Cherry finally gets her
This looks
tea.
like a meme picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cherry finally gets her tea. And like a lot more positive vibes.
And then just like
Doctor basically explains that like to Ruby that they went back and took her instead, and now everything is fine.
and she went back to save her, so
Yeah, which it's still kind of vague in the sense like so that Ruby can have the whole moment of like her stopping to think about like how batshit insane everything was today. Which was like he mentioned about time traveling, he mentioned about going back, he mentioned about being with Harry Houdini was like in the 1920s. So it connects all those dots that he's probably a time traveler.
yeah, and also like the Doctor said, "Oh, maybe I'm the bad luck." So just
Yeah, to Mrs. Flood.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm the bad luck. Yeah, that's
And then she just runs out, and Mr. Flood just like, "Where's the Doctor?" And actually, Ruby just like, "Where's the Doctor?" Just like Mr. Flood just like points to the TARDIS.
Yeah, and then they do the thing where Ruby goes into the TARDIS, sees how it's massive on the inside, and walks around it to see that it's still a tiny little police box, which RTD said we haven't seen this since Rose.
Bullshit.
That is not true.
Well, you think
That is a lie.
Yeah, liar. He did that they literally did that in the Runaway Bride with Donna, and Smith and Jones with Martha, and in Moffat era they did that with Victoria and Clara.
Yeah.
Yeah. That just seems like a typical thing to do.
Just lie. I just forgot.
Lie.
How do you
Lie,
lie?
yeah.
Typical RTD trademark lie.
I was like, oh, you just forgot your
That
own
was
work
funny.
again. Jesus.
So yeah. So my only comment for the ending for Ruby in particular, it's just kind of like think there's like enough to really say. So like she does go with the doctor, obviously, to be the companion. I don't think there's enough like kind of indicating why she wants to do that. But I can't really fault that because it's well, I mean, I could a little bit. Um,
Mm.
I just don't. I don't have that many reasons as to why she would want to go with the doctor and all this stuff outside of like he's a time traveler, which to be fair, I guess like if you compare to Rose in a sense, like Rose, well, she just feel like there was nothing really to look forward to. Not to mention, the whole time traveling in a box. That's pretty cool.
It's like Rose is just kind of one of the weaker one of the weaker companion introduction.
Yeah.
Yeah, going
I
through
mean,
that.
obviously, it serves as more for
Millie,
like.
you say that. Have you ever heard of Dodo Chaplet? That's all I say about that.
Yeah.
Just walks in.
Wow.
Yeah.
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 It's like, yeah, and just like, and the Mr. Fletcher's like, good luck, Ruby. So, yeah, so nice. It's just nice line after like bad luck and stuff. And also, she heard the doctor said, maybe I'm the bad luck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good luck. Yeah, I didn't.
Oh, is
I
that
didn't,
what that's a
I,
reference to?
Yeah.
I didn't get the connection, but yeah, that's
Me neither.
something. Yeah. Yeah, I guess like my only thing is like obviously like she's pretty happy with her family, and all that stuff. But then again, at the same time, it's a guy in a time traveling box, so it's like I don't know. I feel like there could have been a little bit more to kind of get her reason to go with him
Yeah.
and all this stuff. But that's really my only comment in terms of the ending for Ruby.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's to be fair, they just like I'm the doctor. She just stand on the ship and I'm the doctor. She just didn't say like, "Oh, I'm gonna go to this place." So there's room to infer she just goes to some area not for like for not like too long in the past or just far away, just like just like she just got tested out something first. There's room to infer. I'll just need to see the next episode first.
Yeah, that's true. Then there's a post credit scene. The Doctor and Ruby leaving TARDIS. That dude comes back saying like, "Did you see that box just magically disappeared?" And then Miss Flood looks into the camera and says, "I've never seen a
And then
TARDIS before."
No,
And that's
she looks at the camera and says, "I'm gonna be relevant later."
Yeah.
yeah. There's all these theories of who she could be and all that stuff.
I don't
Yeah.
care.
To be honest, I don't really care. Just like it's like remember, it's like last of a time where it's like, ooh, who pick up the master's ring stuff after
Who
he
pick
died?
up the master's tooth?
Yeah, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
It's like a last of a time was just it's just some random guy, some random girl who works for the master we've never seen before. Okay, I'm falling for that again.
Yeah. So that's basically the end of the.
Never seen the TARDIS before? Well, that's for
basically the end of the special.
yeah, that's basically a line
What's
for
your
anyone.
being Russell T Davis's version of Iris Wild Time?
Yeah. Wow. It's like never seen it. Yeah, they didn't do a 4-4 break until what like under the lake or something. It's before the flood.
Yeah.
I
guess-
the lake was not a fourth wall break because under the flood we contextualize it as being he's telling all that to Clara.
Yeah, I know. Just there's in the beginning, it's like this is what bootstrap paradox means to us. So just talking to us for 2 minutes.
Yes, but that's the thing with being a two-parter. We have to take it as like a single story, kind of.
Yeah, I don't know. I constantly get mixed up which is which episode. So that's what I think.
So, Noob, you mentioned you wanted to talk about the mechanics. Now that we finished the episode,
I mean, I kind of did talk about the mechanics.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, I guess now we can kind of talk about post episode.
Well, so what's the conclusion after the breakdowns?
Yeah.
Certainly as a subpart Russell T Davies episode.
Yeah, fair. I mean, I enjoy more. Just like the more I just think about it, it's like okay, that's more problems than I remember. I was like, I think it's fine or decent. Just some good character work.
I wouldn't
So-
even say that the episode has a lot of problems. I just think there's really not much to it.
I mean, like, I kind of realized that, like, when we talk about each of the scenes, like, we kind of blew through it pretty fast, even though it took over an hour. But that's to be fair. But
I've
yeah, it's
seen
just
more
like,
densely packed hours.
yeah,
Is
Um,
would be my point.
yeah.
yeah. I mean, like, I I liked the interactions here and there, which obviously is not enough of a point to say. Um, I I don't have too much like in terms of like, yeah, this is pretty tough. I will admit.
Yeah, just it's kind of it's like it's fine, it's decent. I think it's like
Does
I like
does keep you engaged to go into episode 1 for series 14?
It's basically like Ncuti Gatwa is pretty charismatic. Uh,
I like
Millie Gibson is sure a decent actress,
you mean
and they sure can sing.
yeah. I mean the
And
best
You know the
yeah.
Beatles episode is coming.
Yeah.
there sure is a mystery box.
Yeah, I mean, actually, there's one scene praised on Twitter is actually the one Disney just like, hey, do this. Yeah, that's a scene. That's the only writing scene praised on Twitter I saw. So just
What
like
scene?
the
Which one?
police scene.
Oh, the police.
Yeah, that's the scene that posts on Twitter for writing quality, really.
Uh,
I mean,
I can see that.
I can understand because, like, just doctor telling that he's gonna have a pretty good life. Gonna marry the girl that he wanted on Christmas Day, and yeah, I can see why that is liked a lot. Liked a lot by people on Twitter. I don't have much else to say. For that as well.
There just isn't much.
Yeah, I mean, there's some good character work. There's some issues.
Yes,
Yeah, just like
not enough, I would say.
like for me, it's just like a lot. It's like not the worst. It's like I don't know, one of the middle. I think one of the middle Russell T Davis Christmas specials. Like it's definitely better than the Christmas Invasion. It's like and then
Is it?
it's like yeah, I was like the Christmas Invasion has a lot of plot problems. I remember. It's like geez, they
Like
didn't
what?
even, it's like it's like the sword fighting at the end. It's like, Jesus Christ!
What?
Like the doctor literally just teleports at the end. It's like what during the sword fight. Like she just stands up and just immediately in a different location. It's like oh.
Isn't the implication that they've just been sword fighting for a while?
No, actually now, like they just stands up, just drops down, stands up, different location. Like one moment he's at the edge, and then moment just like oh he's in open field. It's like holy shit, how do you do that?
Wouldn't that be a special effects issue rather than a plot issue?
Or just editing issue, but regardless,
Yeah.
it's just like yeah, it's just like what? How does that work? It's like deleted scene, just deleted some context. It's like yeah, maybe just like an entire sequence cut out and just like that's just how it works.
Yeah, I don't recall any significant issues with the Christmas Invasion.
Jesus.
It certainly was more densely packed in terms of character stuff. I can say that.
And to be honest, it's just like the plot for the Russell T Davis specials, Christmas specials, not really that good. It's like we just talking about like for the heck of it, damn, it's like it's random with plot armor. It's like Jesus. Just obviously watching. It's like here you could have just died here if the robot just hit them in the neck head with that controlling flying disc when they're walking at the edge. It's like holy shit. and it's like and then yeah, and then for like Runaway Bride, if you just re-engineer what the fuck is the Ragnars's plan, you're just like okay, why the fuck would we do any of those?
They want to get one particle into the center of the Earth to feed
So like,
the
yeah,
baby arachnids and have them wake up or whatever.
I was
'Cause
like, first off, can you just dunk the water inside instead of just a person? Because if you just drop a person, the person's gonna splatter anyways.
is the person like a filter to refine the particles or whatever?
Yeah, I don't know. It's like if that's the case, why don't you just use the robot to just kidnap a person and just like dunk water and just like immediately done. Instead of just like do this 6 months plan. Okay, is that how it works? I don't think you need that long.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, this special, I guess, like kind of gives you what to expect, in a sense, like in terms of this is our new doctor, new companion, um, and then obviously they give like it's gonna the season will start back up in May 2024. Um, so, it's it's basically what we're waiting for at this point. Um,
I feel
yeah, go ahead.
this episode for whatever reason gave me big like end of life classic Who vibes in the sense of like towards the end of classic Doctor Who, the Sixth Doctor TV tenure was not well received, so they decided, well, let's just have a new Doctor. And so they introduced the Seventh Doctor, and it was still not good. And then they had a whole plan of like we're gonna make the Doctor more mysterious again. We're gonna drop hints at a new and exciting new backstory that the Doctor has now. We're just gonna keep dropping hints, and then we're gonna do a reveal as to the Doctor is actually this ancient figure from Gallifrey's history. And that was the plan. The show was canceled before they even got there. But like
Mm,
I'm seeing like seeds of that with like the timeless children origin being paid off and whatever. Like they're gonna that's looks to be the driving force in this new era of Doctor Who. It's like where is the Doctor coming from? I'm just like, who cares?
Yeah, just
yeah, because like this was what their third reference to the Thomas Child.
yeah.
I
So
know, but I mean, like it's.
But yeah,
I mean, addressing it, I feel is kind of the right move, but at the same time, it's such a shit storyline conceptually that like
yeah,
right.
I
I
don't
just like
care.
I
I don't
just
think
like
people are gonna care either.
yeah. For me, it's just like I just like the idea. Just like he just one of the Time Lords to just do a TARDIS because he loves adventure. I just hate the Time Lord society. That's all you need. It's like okay, good enough, ran, and just like here's Timeless Child. It's like fuck.
Yeah, it's it's like the only reason Russell is really going with that is that like because Chibnall did that, and it's like Russell wants to revitalize audience interest in Doctor Who, but at the same time, he doesn't. He wants to validate and reaffirm everything that Chibnall did, which is like what Chibnall did was not good.
It's like
Like carrying that over, it's only hurting your stuff.
I mean, you could just like
Mm,
okay, you just like okay, flux happen. Okay, I'm just gonna have some characterization after knowing what criminal who that like after the Timeless Child effect. Good enough, go.
yeah,
Don't
because
say
like
anything
obviously
about
the whole coincidence of like the companion and the doctor now can relate to being orphans,
I don't
yeah,
foundlings, I guess.
I don't think that's a coincidence. That could have happened like basically any.
Yeah, that's also true.
yeah. It's like and just like so yeah. So I just say it's like
It was just the most person storyline
yeah.
to tell,
I
I
Right.
just
guess.
yeah. I just hope that's just a one time thing. It's like oh here's mention for character. It's like okay that's it.
Yeah.
Stop.
Though it being referenced at least 3 times now, I don't know.
Nah, based on what Russell has said in interviews, it's gonna be paid off in like a
Mm,
like a
Jeez.
big way or whatever.
Well, I
Which
hope we
was
can
like,
just yeah.
yeah.
I hope it done it well again. Just like just like the series one, just like here, Gallifrey destroy off screen. Fuck.
Yeah, that's all right, Sty. Happy New Year to you as well.
Happy New Year. Yeah, we could just, to be honest, we can just move on to stuff about companions.
Yeah. So I guess like we'll kind of go through this a little bit. Some interactions of first companion episodes.
Yeah. So the thing, there's a general pattern you can attach to companion introduction episodes is that like most of the time when the doctors asked somebody to travel with him, it was because he was feeling lonely from the departure of the previous companion.
Right.
Yeah,
What motivated? 'Cause, like, the first ever time in the show that the doctor invited somebody onto the TARDIS was Vicky.
yeah.
That's because he was missing Susan. And then like it's either the person sneaks on board during takeoff unknowingly or knowingly,
Yeah.
or and then the doctor just stuck with them until he can bring them back to their home time. It's either that or he's feeling alone because he's sad because the other person has left, and so he just
Right.
wants somebody to be there. That's generally the
Bless
pattern,
you.
Yeah. Thank you.
but there's never it's that weird thing that happened because at the end of the Whitaker era, like all of the current companions left for no good reason.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Um,
it's just like, I mean, Ryan and Graham is fine. To be honest, I mean, Graham is fine.
yeah,
because
yeah. Ryan and Graham was fine, but like Yaz left for no reason,
Yeah,
even though you'd think that the Doctor would need someone there more than ever. Uh, during the difficulty of regeneration or whatever.
I'm told that Yaz like 13 never told Yaz about the Thomas Child, but they like
Really?
Ruby and Donna know about that more. So I don't know. That's what I've
Well,
heard.
I don't know. My brain is so much about the flux. It's just so much bullshit at once.
Huh. I never realized that Yas doesn't even know about the Timeless Child.
It's like the relationship set up
But
between
wait,
Yaz and
wait. They look into they
It's either that.
investigated the division together though.
It's either that or the flux. I'm not sure. I've heard one of
No,
those.
Yas knows about the flux. You
Oh, she
experienced
knows
it
about the flux.
firsthand.
Yeah, it's like there's like a lot of bullshit. It's like there's the planet called time that controls all time of the universe. Also, I don't even want to get into
Oh,
the
that's a
mechanics.
thing from the deep lore that they just brought in and bastardized.
Because I was like, wait, what the fuck does that mean? It was like, I just like control of time. I was like, I don't even want to know. Just put a Loki, I guess. Fuck you. And there's like here, the Doctor can just throw herself in time stone with a sonic screwdriver. Like, huh? Fuck. I don't even remember a lot of things. Ah, God.
Yeah. I mean, we have a few examples.
Yeah, the first time we had a companion introductory episode was
Yeah.
the rescue, which was basically Carol Lanford wanted out of the show, so they wrote Susan out, and so they just quickly added a two-parter that introduced the replacement companion, and it was like it was filling the same archetype. It was basically that for the
Yeah.
season. It's just the actor or actress is moving on, so we're replacing them with somebody else to fill the role.
It's like, yeah. So, I mean,
And
they
it's
also write out like Barbara Wright and Ian Chesterton beforehand. So that's
yeah, I
fine.
know. No, I mean, no, it was first Susan leaves, and then Vicky gets a two-parter introduction, and then Ian and Barbara leaves, and then we're introduced to Steven Taylor in that same episode, and then the next episode it's revealed that he snuck onto the TARDIS.
Oh,
fills their
Mm.
position.
Yeah, it's like it's funny. It's like Ian Chesterton just like returning the power of the Doctor. It's like, oh, wait, that's the first companion. Damn, man, he's still alive. Holy shit! I mean, the actor. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, it's like, wow, damn,
So,
she's
so is Carol Ann Ford, as far as I know.
yeah, but yeah, 83. She's 83 years old. Like the actor playing Ian Chesterton is 99 years old. It's like, wow.
Jesus,
God damn.
bringing this 100-year-old man out of retirement just to play it in Power of the Doctor.
Well, to be fair, I actually like that scene more than any scene in the entire episode. Yeah, it's like- and that actually sets up for the giggle for a Mel return.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this is
So,
the
so
second
yeah,
Doctor.
there's a few episodes where the companions are introduced like before they join, and you can get reasoning for that. The first was the rescue. Then you have the War Machines, which was about Ben and Polly. Then there's the Highlander, which introduced Jamie. The problem, though, is that I have no recollection of the Highlanders. I don't remember anything that happened with it, so I can't explain why Jamie
Oh,
joined
damn.
them. The evil of the Daleks introduced Victoria. Her dad was killed by the Daleks, and she had nowhere to go, so they just. Also, they were stuck on Skaro, so the only way out was the TARDIS. So,
Right.
and that was back when the Doctor didn't know how to fly it, so it just didn't
Yeah.
go anywhere. Wheel in Space, I don't remember. I've actually, it's not that I don't remember; it's that I have not seen the Wheel in Space yet. I don't know the context. I know that Zoe's introduced as like a super genius,
Yeah.
whatever, and she's like, "Oh, well, you guys can time travel. I'm gonna sneak into your time machine and see the universe. It's gonna be a great case of scientific curiosity exploration, whatever the fuck."
Which fair enough.
Yeah. Then everybody after that was just like an assistant to the Doctor until I guess the first proper, like, conventional companion introduction was Sarah Jane in
Yeah, like
Time Warrior.
yeah, it's like she's like the first old companion bring back to like New Who. It's like, to be honest, when I watched that
No,
episode, it's like,
that's
oh
not what I mean. I mean that like that. It's between the end of the Second Doctor era and this then. Like, since the end of the Second Doctor era, all of the quote unquote companions were more like assistant that were assigned to him by unit. The first one
oh,
that joined him on an adventure and then became a traveling companion was Sarah Jane.
Interesting.
It was the
wow.
first one in a while. Because Joe was an assistant, Liz was an assistant. All the people at the unit were basically just co-workers. And, you get Sarah Jane, you get well, in their first appearance, Sarah Jane was just like just got onto the TARDIS as it was taking off, so it wasn't like she wasn't planning on traveling with him, but then like she had a whole adventure in medieval time with the Doctor with some Centaurs, and then in the next episode, the Doctor was like, "Hey, why don't you travel with me?" And she's like, and then she was like, "No," and then you named a bunch of cool places, and then she was like, "Okay, all right."
Yeah.
And then the next one was Layla. I don't exactly remember how the decision came about for her to travel with the Doctor. I don't remember if she wanted to or if the Doctor asked her. And I know she probably suggested that he needed a bodyguard. So, so that's kind of why.
Yeah, that's a.
But I don't remember exactly.
It's all right.
Oh yeah, the next companion introduction was Full Circle, which introduced Adric. Actually, no, that's not the next companion introduction because we had K9 in between and
Yeah.
Romana. Romana was assigned to him. K9 was, I guess, also assigned to him. Um, uh, Adric was some math genius from another universe. Uh, just like Zoe was like, "Oh, the Doctor is cool. I'm gonna sneak into his ship."
Yeah.
And then the next
I
episode
know.
they were stuck with
I
him.
know. Like in the Google 15 mentions Audrey to 14 in the
Like-
conversation.
Yeah. It was-
It's like something happened to him. It's like I'm not gonna ask. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
answer. Yeah, that's-
yeah. No, something Cybermen. Something dinosaurs.
Oh.
I see. I see.
Yeah.
Um. Yeah. Then next companion
The
introduction was
final
Nissa.
episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nissa was a supporting character in the Keeper of Draken, and then she showed back up in Logopolis, where her planet was
Yeah.
screwed up, and she was like, "Well, I got nowhere else to go."
Mm.
And Tegan wandered into the TARDIS in the middle of a thing, so she got stuck there and spent the Fifth Doctor spent his entire first season trying to get her back to to the airport she was supposed to have her job meeting at.
Mm.
She was on her way to her first day of work, and then um she just like had to use the nearest police phone booth thing, and then just got into the TARDIS and then like got lost, and then they took off, and, and then she got wrapped in a whole adventure that threatened the entire universe or something. Uh,
Hmm.
Huh.
it's again, you got either the people who are stuck with the Doctor or the people who the Doctor invites. And the reason
Right.
the Doctor invites people is usually because he feels bad about
Yeah.
the other
Mm.
people leaving,
Yeah.
or that he got on well with that person during an adventure, and so he's like, "Ah, why don't you come with me?"
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like Han Solo, like, "You're pretty good in a fight. We could use you."
Yeah.
Anyway, I have not seen Planet of Fire, so I don't know how Perry met the Fifth Doctor.
I also know this is the master, not the Doctor in the image. That's the only one I could find.
What?
Yeah. That's what.
You
Oh,
mean to
that's
say
what.
that this evil-looking man is not the Doctor?
So this
Oh my
penguin.
god! Oh my
penguin.
god! Frobisher, the shape-shifting penguin
Oh.
from the comic strips, met the Doctor because he was hired by some guy to arrest him, but then teamed up with the Doctor because the Doctor is like, if you're trying to threaten me, you should know that I've been threatened by the best. Daleks, Cybermans, BBC executives, I've seen them all.
Oh my god.
And so, and, yeah, so then he started traveling with him, and then like they met a bunch of penguins, and Frobisher was like, I'm gonna shapeshift it to a penguin, and then he just like stayed in that shape because the writer likes to draw penguins, and also Frobisher likes to look like a penguin.
Fair enough.
So that was again that was more of a case of like he got along well with that person, and so it was just like, why don't you come along?
Yeah.
Right.
Same thing happened with Sharon Davis in The Star Beast.
Yeah. I don't have that image, but
No, you've seen the episode The Star Beast. I'm talking about the comic book that it was based on.
Of course.
Yeah.
Did you know that the Star Beast episode was based on a comic?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we did mention it in our podcast episode.
That's one of the weird thing about it is that the original story introduced a companion, but then that companion is just gone from the retelling.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Which begs the question, like, did that even happen in the EU anymore?
Because I'm pretty sure she served the same purpose as what Rose Noble kind of was in that.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Oh,
Let me-
So we got some of the audios as well.
hold on a second. I need to go. I need to do something first. Hold on a second.
Sure thing.
the other yes, Evelyn Smythe was joined. Well, Evelyn is a history teacher, so she's like, as soon as the doctor is like, "Oh, I'm just gonna go back in time to just fix up your timeline," and it's like, "So you're not going without me? You think I'm gonna pass up the chance to meet Queen Elizabeth the First?"
Yeah.
And then they got into a whole thing about Queen Mary. Um, and there was a whole thing. It's a pretty good episode. I would recommend it to everybody starting out the audios. There is the context again that this is the Doctor post trial of a Time Lord, so he's so sad about what happened to Perry.
Right.
And he's still dreading his first meeting with Melanie. Because so Melanie doesn't have a first meeting with the Doctor in the show. The Doctor meets her because she's from his future, and she gets plucked out of it to attend his trial. But then, like, he sends her back to himself in the future. But we never got to see the story of him meeting her like properly for the first time. That was told in a book, which I read the first couple chapters of that book. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, once again, you can see like traces of like, the Doctor feeling self-conscious about like his place in time and whatever, and that influences his decision of like whether or not he wants to travel with a person or not. I don't remember the Crimes of Thomas Brewster, to be real. I saw it once. Actually, no, I listened to it once, and I didn't even remember Flip Jackson was in it. All I remember, uh, all I remember from Flip is her next appearance, which was the Curse of Davros, where she was basically your average New Who companion,
Right.
but a bit dumber.
Mm.
Um,
Mm.
and it's and I don't know, like her first couple of stories are pretty goofy.
Yeah.
Like the part where like I don't remember what the context is, but like it's uh I think the Doctor says like, if we don't sub Davros, she's gonna make a weapon of mass destruction, and then she's like, "Is that gonna be bad?" I don't think that's exactly the line, but I remember it was something like that. It was like the Doctor said something obviously bad is gonna happen, and she's like, "Is that bad?"
Yeah.
Um, Chris Cross, Constance Clark, the secretary working for the British government during the Second World War. And she's like, gets a chance to travel in TARDIS, and it's like, hey, why not? It's like, the life sucks in wartime. Let's go see the future and other planets and stuff. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Let's yeah.
So,
Dragonfire. Mel is leaving the Doctor because it stopped being fun or something. Wait, no, that was for Bishop. Uh,
Yeah.
the
yeah.
um the she and then Ace, who was just a girl from present day Earth that they just found on a alien planet, and it was like, how did you end up here? It's like, it's a a random freak occurring time storm just swept me away like fucking Wizard of Oz.
Mm.
Which appropriate because Ace's real name is Dorothy.
Right.
Oh wow.
Get it? We're doing a
Yeah.
thing.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like she got whisked away in a whirlwind that brought her to a weird land on a planet called Ice World. So the Doctor's like, "That's curious. Why don't you come travel with me? We'll figure this out."
Hmm.
And it's kind of the same reasoning as Clara or whatever.
So I realize 6 and 7 both have question marks as
Oh yeah,
their
that the fifth
costume.
Doctor is the first one. Actually, no, the fourth Doctor is the first one who had that. He had the lapels,
Hmm.
with the question marks. And
Interesting.
then the fifth Doctor also had these lapels. The sixth Doctor also had these lapels, and then the seventh Doctor just went all. You don't even see that in that shot, but he has an umbrella with a question mark shaped handle.
Yeah, I thought she's like an air pilot or something. From that look, for some reason.
Yeah,
That's fine.
that kind of takes us
And
through the
new,
new era.
yeah. I mean, to be honest, I think there's you can to be honest. There's like the eighth Doctor. I don't know how did he met the companion. But
Yeah, I didn't want to include that one because like they don't come back because of there's like copyright issues from the movie, so they can't really
No, I mean like um the
like
you mean
Grace
like
and
people like Charlie, Molly, Tasman, um, and Cheriz, um, Lucy, um, Cass, Grace, and all the other people. Sam. Um, there's plenty of people from the expanded universe that
right
will.
the
I mean, a bunch
yeah,
of them were mentioned in Knights of the Doctor.
right. That's
yes,
true.
Yeah, it's
yeah. That's unfortunate because like I wish to see the eighth Doctor and and a new companion in the eighth in the movie someday.
yeah. I mean the one of the best. I mean, one of the most notorious Eighth Doctor storyline is like the Charlie Pollard arc, which I would recommend you guys check out. Whatever.
Uh,
It's uh they're on a it's girl who like sneaks onto like she wants to be an adventuress, so she dresses up as a boy to be on uh an, a zeppelin thing that's going on abroad to on travels or whatever. The zeppelin crashes. It's a famous historical disaster or whatever. The doctor rescues her, but then he realizes, oh shit, that she was supposed to be one of the deaths on that airplane or on the thing. So now preventing her death is change history. Oh well. And then like as their travels go, you start realizing that like there's a bunch of stuff about history that's changing. Like people don't remember Shakespeare. George Orwell is not um it's a bit too early or whatever the fuck. And it's like there's some other stuff. Um some guy was erased from history, and some girl is alive and dead at the same time because of a paradox or whatever. It's like the entire fabric of history is unraveling because Charlie is still alive, and
yeah.
so they this, at some point in time they'll step in and they're like we need to put a stop to this because history is getting fucked up. And so there's a whole conflict about that, and it's pretty good. And there's a twist. Charlie and the Doctor keep traveling for a while after that, and then like at the end of their travel, there's a twist ending of a sort that is pretty cool.
Mm,
That sets up more adventures
I
with a
see.
different Doctor. Uh,
Yeah,
and, and
Yeah.
I
So
was
I would
curious. Does the War Doctor have anything like that?
a couple.
yeah, it's like John
There's
Hurt. Yeah, it's like it's kind of weird because John Hurt
there's a
passed away.
there's a companion from the Eighth Doctor comic strips that shows up in that shows back up in the 12th Doctor comic strips, but like in a flashback that shows that she hung out with the War Doctor.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, to be honest.
Um,
Yeah.
there's what's her name? There's a redhead with a big Dalek gun that's in one of the novels.
Yeah, I've seen that before. I've seen that.
Isn't her name Cinder? Doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she's warrior in the Time War. Gets referenced a bunch in some stuff.
Yeah.
There's I've not listened to the War Doctor Begins, but I know there's a bunch of temporary companions in there. The thing with the Time War companions is that it's fucking wartime. They keep dying.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that kind of takes us into the New Who era, which rose pretty much the start of everything really for 2005. This is really the main one I can comment on. It's like I think it does it as an episode that's like kind of like getting people into the franchise for like a starting point kind of thing. I mean, obviously it's kind of like your human character that kind of has her whole life going on, and then there's this mysterious guy who knows like a lot of these sciencey mumbo jumbo thingies going on while also being attacked by plastic mannequins.
Yeah, I don't think because that's kind of the big difference between New Who and Classic Who is that all of Classic Who is told essentially from the Doctor's point of view. You very rarely get a story that's told from the point of view of the new companion as they're introduced.
By the way, that's what Russell T Davis said for Ruby. It's like, hey, do you know that this is something we never did before. We do a companion who was we do an episode in the companion's point of view. Like, Jesus.
Russell, bruh, you did that like twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Russell has some foggy memories, I guess.
I mean, I guess like one of the only time that the story was told from the companion point of view, like in the audios, was Curse of Davros, where it's Flip Jackson who's helping the Doctor is getting pursued by Daleks, and then Flip Jackson is helping him like get by and whatever. But then there's a twist. I don't know if I should reveal the twist of Curse of Davros. It's
Gotcha.
Yeah, just maybe don't.
Yeah.
So, Rose.
One thing, I mean, obviously, like Rose kind of has like a similar thing of what you kind of described, like in a way, like she does something, and then the Doctor likes her company.
Yeah.
Wants to.
He's also feeling bad about the Time War.
Right.
But he also wants to show off.
Show off at the same time, yeah. That's fair. Then he was saying like this could take us anywhere in the universe. She says, no, I think I should stay here. Then he leaves, then he comes back. Did I mention it could time travel? Yeah, that's the selling point. So yeah, that's basically how Rose gets tagged along. Anything else you want to add, Unity?
Just to be honest, he just wants boring life, just wants to do more, and that's kind of just not really. Just actually, it's like fine. This episode is more like fine. Just like comparing it, like after like watching more and more companion stuff, it's just like this for Rose. It's just like that's actually comparatively speaking not as much, and I mean they're still fine enough. It's just not as much.
Yeah.
Not as much as I remember.
I think it's kind of like that thing, like as New mentioned, like the companion being that human eye, so that for I guess like newer viewers or anything like that, they can kind of like see themselves along with the Doctor and like kind of like how this world works, how things are how things are treated based on this and like the dangers and like how. I mean, I guess like that's what I guess like that's what was like a driving point for like a lot of people starting the franchise. Uh, um, in that sense,
Yeah.
you kind of have like a perspective where you can kind of insert yourself as Rose and feel like you're a part of that journey as well.
Mm.
At least that's kind of what I got from watching it myself.
Yeah. That's yeah. I mean, in retrospect, it just wasn't much. That's all I'd say. I mean, compared to like the next ones, yeah.
Yeah, and we did talk about the Ruby, the Runaway Bride, earlier for those that
Yeah.
were listening.
Donna,
So that kind of takes us to Smith and Jones.
yeah. To be honest, like for me, it's like this is the best one. It's like Martha is also like characterized as just like she wants more adventures. Like she does, like she still want to be a doctor. She doesn't care about her family, but it's like at the same time she just doesn't want to be in the family because it's messy, and she just like wants longing. It's like I think this like balance like roles what they want to do roles much better. It's like because they have to ask who like okay she can do this the entire time, and Martha is just like oh she's a doctor. I mean she's training to be a doctor, at least. So it's like there's a lot of like medical skills used here, and just a lot of like sexual tension between them characterized. Just a lot of dialogues like oh this is scary, but it's like also amazing at the same time. And you see a lot of hints that she just like cares about a lot of people during the way in the episode. So there's a lot more characterization for Martha than Rose. It's like that's what I got from retrospects. Like and I just love it more. And also she plays a part in the finale without shoehorning anything. So from like gain more confidence, to speak up, and just like okay, do this. Yeah, I mean, totally my favorite companion introduction episode. So that's my take.
What do you say, Noob?
What
What do you say?
about Smith and Jones?
Yeah.
I've only seen it the one time,
I see.
so I can't really comment.
That's all right. That's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then this is one that you mentioned.
Yeah,
with
I
the
wanted
10th
to bring
the
this up
10th
because this
Doctor.
this is an interesting one. This one with the doctors is like the person he's hung out the whole story is like I want to travel whatever, and the doctor's like I would love to, however, it usually doesn't end well because I recently had to erase Donna's memory or whatever. And so just stay here and live your life. And then she says a thing that relates to his song ending, which is a thing that we, was set up when the Ood foresaw like the end of his lifetime or whatever. They said, your song is ending, and then she coincidentally mentioned a thing about that, and it's like, the fuck. It's like okay, one trip, and then before I change my mind, that's kind of similar to what happened with Smith and Jones, where it's like, one trip,
Yeah.
and then he just keeps going because he can't stop himself.
Yeah.
Just loves to show people the universe, and it's
Yeah. It's like Martha is just for Martha just like so much easier. It's like oh here's a ship. It's like okay go I'm going. It's like yeah, but it's like oh yeah that's well characterized.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like, compared to all of that. It's like the Church of Ruby Road is so empty. There's like I said, there's good stuff in there, but like there's so much useless stuff as well.
Yeah.
So like it does seem to be one of the instances of like the doctor only wants to travel with this person because why not? Because the doctor travels with people. That's what he does, and it's kind of damn. It's even something the Whittaker era got right. It's when the doctor is like accidentally gets Graham, Yaz, and Ryan to like on another planet, and then like it's like, well, I'm trying to get you back to your time, and then once I do that, it's like, oh, well, I guess you're gonna be leaving now. And then only when they ask to travel with her do they do it. Um, I don't know.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
This is kind of what I mean about the formulaic nature of Doctor Who, where it's just like, well, this is the part in the episode where the companion discovers the TARDIS and starts to travel with the Doctor. So it's like
That's fair.
Yeah, it's like
it's kind of taken as a given,
mm,
even
Right.
though
I
like
mean,
you kind of need to put a bit more thought into why.
it's like the. I mean, the only instant just like that doesn't really happen. It's like what? It's like Captain Jack and Russell T Davies era. It's just Russell T Davies era. What happened
I
with
mean,
Captain
okay,
Jack?
Captain Jack was gonna blow up if the Doctor didn't pick him up.
Yeah. And the other thing is the Wilf. Yeah, Wilf. Wilf was 2 episodes. It's like, but she's an established character in series 4. Actually, in four each of the dam already.
Yeah, like Wilf doesn't want to travel with the Doctor; just wants to help him deal with a thing.
Yeah. That's what I say. And then it's like and then this is like the
I love
11th.
I love the scene where it's just like they get teleported to a spaceship, and then Wilf is just like glued to the window, be like, "We're in space."
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody's arguing and running across the ship, being like, we're about to get shot at," and then Wilf is just staring out in the window, and the Doctor's like "Come on, Wilf." is like, "We're in space."
Yeah. Huh. Yeah. Yeah, I love Wilf. Just like, this is the 11th hour, basically the Moffat era. It's like actually quite. I mean, the first time I saw it, I find it pretty bad. It's like the second time I saw it, it's like okay, it's better than I remember. It's like it's decent. It's like I don't think I'll call it good.
The justification for traveling with Amy is basically,
Yeah, it's like
I
Amy.
think I think he's basically just wants to show off that
Yeah,
time
that's
machine
and Amy just
to
Amy.
child Amy, and then he realized it kind of ruined child Amy's like life
Fantasy. Yeah, and just like
by making her seem like crazy to people and whatever, and then because of that he's like, well, I guess
I
it
have
still
to show.
wants to be made up to you.
Yeah, it's like fine. So which is fine. I mean, Amy's like, why do I want to travel? Because I want to escape my marriage. Oh, and so
Yeah, there's reasoning on both sides, which is what you should have.
yeah, I mean, yeah, well characterized for Amy is like okay, she's the girl who waited. It's like fucking titles like for trip network for the Moffat stuff. That's like,
I mentioned the Doctor Who like shitpost wiki that there used to be. They had a page called "The Most Important Companion Since the Previous Most Important Companion."
okay. Oh my lord. Yeah. So it's just like So just this episode, just like Amy, young Amy, grow up because time issue, grow up, solve an issue, and it's like they bond together, great stuff, and they travel together. So
And
I mean,
Rory's only with them because Amy is traveling, and he's like,
yeah, that's. I mean, that's a bit more nuanced. Like,
the
Amy just
the doctor is attempting to do couple counseling.
yeah. Yeah, I just like a bit more nuance. Like Amy, there's more motive than Amy. Just like I want to travel. This is what I say, and just like have this some fucked up reason, not just like pure reasons.
Like this is a crazy thing I could be doing. Fuck it, let's do it.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess that's why I got to cover for the 11th hour.
Yeah. It leads us to the pilot with Bill.
Where this is a 70-year time jump since Series 8. Series 9, sorry. Jesus. And it's like, so basically the doctor invited Bill because, he noticed that she isn't a student, which is fair, which is how my uni lectures sometimes notice people. So it's like, okay, come to here. It's like, do you want chips? It's like, what do you do? I do chips, and it's like, because she likes his lesson, so they bond.
I would say that also has something to do with she makes direct reference to Clara when he wants to like erase her mind so that she doesn't like think about any of that and doesn't get like nobody homes in on her memory of like seeing space time stuff or whatever. And then like she's like, well, you wouldn't like that if somebody erased your memory, and he's like, oh, fuck,
Yeah, it's like yeah,
puts the finger right on the place where it hurts.
yeah. So it's like sorry about that. I'm gonna show you more. So great
And
scene.
and then he's like, well, they like, he's like, you got the pictures of Susan and of River there. They tell us like, shut up. I'm not listening to the part of myself that's saying, wouldn't it be fun though?
Yeah, it's like I like the 12th Doctor. It's like
Yeah.
and just like it's like Bill. It's fine. I think it's like I think her is like more relatable for like because I'm dealing with uni stuff and she's also in uni, so that's my selling point. But as a whole, it's like she has a good relationship with the Doctor, and but her relationship with Heather is rather thin. Honest, it's like so thin. I was expecting to care at the end. It's like, hey, Heather is like, do you want to go with me? Go with me to the end, travel with me or not? It's like, no, of course not, because you literally just barely talk to each other beforehand. You just and it's like that wasn't an emotional. I mean, they could have bank on it. It's like if they have like 10 more minutes of them together, but nah, it's just kind of hollow. That's my thing with Bill. It's like there should be more scenes with her relationship when I rewatch it.
Yeah.
It's like the thing holding this is just her relationship with the Doctor, and she's actually more grounded because like she's just trying to justify, oh, this is more like aliens, this is like the movies. I was like, that's one aspect that's different than the other companions. And
then the woman felt her with the fucking which like I said is you the reason they travel is because to basically actually for Ryan and Graham, it's because they're fucking sad at home.
yeah.
And meanwhile, Yaz is, I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know if she has a crush on the Doctor as early as the first episode, but
I don't know. There's like something they invented in like what Eve or Resolution of the Daleks. I don't remember the titles. Resolution, Eve of the Daleks.
No, they quote unquote set it up in Arachnids in the UK when Yaz's mom was like, "Are you two a thing?" And they're like, "Nah." And then like the fandom saw that, took it, and ran with it.
Oh my lord! I mean, if you want to fucking game with it, just commit to it. It's like fucking. If not, just don't even do it. It's like so weird. Yeah, it's like this. I rewatched it at first. I rewatched the World Fell to Earth again. It's like, my lord, this is not interesting. I was like, this is already the best episode of this series. It's like, and this is the intro. And the introduction is Doctor meet them by accident because they're gonna be attacked, and she accidentally teleport them into space at the end. So that's how they travel. Pure coincidence.
Didn't Jay, like in his video on the Fall of the Doctor, didn't he use a clip from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy where he goes like, space, the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy says, is big, really big. You just won't believe how hugely, mind-bogglingly big it is. I mean, you think it's a long way down to the chemist, but that's just peanuts to space.
Yeah.
And so on.
Yeah, I was like, oh god, Jesus! It's like Jesus Christ. How the fuck does that? It's like, yeah, this is the episode that's the most in character for the Doctor for this series. It's like, and then the companions, well, they better get anything. I mean, the best they got is Ryan. Look at Granddad. It's like he just like, it's Graham. That's the most characterization they got. It's like Ryan doesn't like Graham because he's not his real father, and Graham wants him to call him Granddad, be his son. Well, I mean, good setup. I mean, it's just a good foundation. Unfortunately, they barely did anything with it. I mean, they tried, not well enough.
Yeah. So that kind of like goes through the companions' interactions, and I kind of
should we even mention Dan?
Jesus, Dan is just Stan is just
I bet you forgot he even existed.
That's because some dog who's actually a former doctor companion kidnapped him. It's like, what the fuck? And I don't even know. It's like he got kidnapped by the dog companion beforehand, and the dog
Yeah.
companion doesn't even mention that he's actually a former companion of the doctor or something.
Dude,
For-
that great line that he has is like you don't stop insulting the legacy of my forebears, and then he looks at him, he's like, you don't even look like forebears.
Like, what the fuck? This is Stan is just like he's a played by comedian. That's all I know. I was like, I don't even know what the fuck is this deal. He just goes along because his house. He doesn't have a house. He doesn't have a house. I guess that's a reason. He got kidnapped. He doesn't have a house anymore. That's why he joins the doctor. And the doctor just leave him in a place that leave him back to his shrunken house at the end. Absolutely hilarious. Jesus.
So yeah, that kind of covers like a lot of first interactions of companions with the Doctor. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot of similarities between them.
Yeah, there's a lot of them I didn't cover, like River Song, Clara, because the situation is quite unique to compare. Although
Right.
others the one-off companions.
Yeah. I mean, I guess like my main thing is like if you were to compare their first introductions versus Ruby's first introduction, what would you say is like better at the very least?
I mean, for one, it's weird because so there's a lot of plot happening for the Ruby one. It's like to the point she's disappeared for not half, 1/3 of the episode. So it's like that's missed opportunity for her to be a more character. That's one thing I noticed.
It's like they I feel like the goblin plot, you could basically remove the goblin plot.
Yeah.
And
But then there's like no antagonist.
Yeah, to be honest, I just rather they
you
just
don't need an antagonist.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, to be honest, I literally just like want an episode of the Doctor and the companion, just like, okay, here's the episode. They just got talk for 15 minutes.
Yeah. I just don't imagine that being a good selling point, unfortunately.
Yeah,
Fuck it, do it again. But do it still, I mean.
I mean, it's just like talk. I just like that's what is so plot heavy. It's like I mean they got some good introductions.
It's so plot heavy, and yet the plot is thin as a blanket.
Yeah. It's like I mean there's like they can just combine plot and character well. It's like you see this like Smith and Jones, like it's plot, but Martha is doing a lot of her own things.
I think I know what's the issue is. It's because we don't see Ruby deal with a lot of different situations, and the few situations we do see her deal with are all pretty fucking similar.
Yeah,
it's like, well, you're adopted. Your parents are we can't find them. This other child is adopted, and the parents and whatever, and they're adopted same as you, and it's a coincidence. So like most of her interactions have to do with that. The other is her reacting to the goblins, and her reactions to the goblins are like, there's not much.
I mean,
it's like you just hiss at me, and that's impossible, or whatever. And it's just like placeholder dialogue of like, well, this aliens aren't real or whatever, and it's
yeah. I mean, the most we got is like, oh my god, I've never experienced this before. It's like I didn't think about it before I do this, so like it's like and then like even the 11th hours, like the Amy is not like just like, oh my god, I think the Doctor.
I think one of the big problems as well is that she doesn't really do anything in the story.
Yeah, it's like there's a lot of
the
things.
Doctor does everything.
Yeah, pretty much, to be honest. Now that I think about it, she doesn't really do much. She just a lot of things
Like,
she does.
the only thing she does, the only thing she does
is like with her mother, with Carla.
Yeah.
In terms of that dialogue and discussion and all that. But I guess like in terms of a companion kind of aspect where, she proves herself to be worthy to be with the Doctor or something like that. It's like it's not really much because I guess like their adventure was pretty simple. Like they got in the vent, they sang a song, they got the baby, and they fucked off. It's like it's not really. I guess like if you compare Rose or something like that, I guess like Rose had a part in the action. I guess
Yeah, I
um,
mean, she
in
does.
some regard. I mean, then I guess like there's just the whole fundamental of like the Doctor is just really good to talk to. They bounce off each other pretty well in terms of chemistry.
Yeah, it's like
Um,
yeah.
so you got those points. I guess like there's just not enough like that was like my other thing is like it's either like Ruby doesn't have enough to like kind of justify why she would want to go with the Doctor outside of like that just seems really cool. Which I mean I can understand that aspect, but then also like I guess the Doctor just likes her company, which is fair.
Is it?
But
I mean, yeah, to be it's fair. It's like fine. It's a fine reason, not like a good reason. It's like fine. But, like, it makes sense. That's all I say. It makes sense.
yeah,
My best guess as to why he's sticking with her is that he's curious about. No. It's that he's relating to her being an orphan, just like him. That is my best guess as to why, and I feel like that is thin as hell.
To be honest, they should have. To be honest, if I was them, I would just have like Doctor and like Ruby just do something at the third act together instead of like, oh, the Goblins like do a house attack like what the fuck is like the Spiderwick Chronicles some shit. Yeah, Spiderwick Chronicles. Yes.
God damn,
like,
that's an
yeah,
old one.
Yeah, and just like okay, now let's defend the house by using like building traps like Home Alone style. I mean, just one example.
I think that's kind of like, I guess that's kind of fair too, because like the fact that like Ruby's out for like the last third of the the third act basically because of the time traveling goblins that are not time travelers. Yeah, it kind of like reduces her more in that aspect because like obviously like she can't do anything because like she's dead at that point. But I guess like I it just like kind of like limits like the time you could have added if she was around to do a different kind of thing in the third act where she was probably more confident now, or like she makes her own reasonings of things here and there. Whereas like it's just like I guess like when you have this whole concept of like this whole mystery box, which is what they're clearly going for with this whole who is her mother. I guess there's just not much to really.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest,
that's kind of like what they're prioritizing more than her actual character.
Yeah, that's one thing for Clara. It's like that she's a walking mystery box. That's a thing. They barely did anything. It's like with her. It's like why is she here? It's like the Doctor wants to solve why the Doctor wants to know why there's so many Claras. That's literally the reason. I mean, I didn't talk much because it's not comparable, but it's only comparable in this aspect. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's gonna be more episodes. Like obviously, like I'm not gonna fault like an entire episode. Like she can't be interesting moving forward or anything like that. But like I I just wanted to compare like how do other first appearance companions fare?
I mean, I won't say all of them are like good in the get-go. Even Bill was like, she's decent. It's like it's just a shame that the entire plot is literally about the finished thing they actually develop about her relationship with Heather. It's like okay. It's just not like compelling. It's just like of course you're not gonna do it. What the fuck would you? Yes, essentially just literally just turn to a monster and chase after you. Like I'm not kidding. Heather's motive is just she's in fighting you. translate to I'm dragged her under water and I once turned into a giant water monster to attack you. It's like fuck me. It's like it's like there's like not all companion introductions are good. It's like that's what I say. It's like there's some good aspects.
Yeah.
Some are just immediately good. Some are just okay. You need time to develop them more during the series goes along.
Yeah. So Noob, do you have any final thoughts
About Ruby.
about like I guess all of it?
Not a great start, I guess would be.
I mean, it's
Yeah, I'll say like it didn't kill anything for me. Like I mean, I'll still go into 14 series 14.
yeah, I mean, yeah.
And all that.
I'm still entertained by it, so that's. I'm still looking forward to it. Just like it's just like not like really gripping.
Yeah.
If the rumors I've seen are right, I would advise you guys to watch season 23 without looking up stuff into it.
Jesus. Okay, I think that should be there on BBC. Season 23.
I mean, I've sent Red a link.
Yeah.
Thing.
Yeah. Overall, I didn't hate this episode. I didn't love this episode.
Yes.
I
really go for it.
Yeah, I like the interactions with Doctor and Ruby. I do think Ruby needs more work to do, and I think that just having this whole thing revolve around her being a mystery box is kind of hurting her in a sense. But obviously, like I'm sure, like when you go into the season with series 14 and all that, there's going to be more opportunities to flesh her out and do better in that aspect. I did really like the stuff with the foster mother and foster grandmother, and like that side of the adoptive family, and especially like I appreciate that Ruby is not like she doesn't diminish like the love that they've shown her for 19 years. So I can appreciate it with that aspect.
Yeah.
Whereas you got some other adopted like storylines where they pretend like that didn't happen or anything like that. I appreciate that it didn't go that way. Yeah. It's like I guess like in terms of a Christmas story, it's not that much present here, but that's not really a issue to me. But yeah, that's my general thoughts.
Right. I mean, I'm still really enjoying this episode, but it's like the more I think about it, it's like it's decent, it's fine. Just I enjoyed it. I'm just like, I hope there's like more, just like they could just do more of Ruby and just like they have a good. I mean, there's like some fun dialogues, like some good interactions. Like there's potential. It's like think potential. Basically, you need some more to do. Ruby is not like the worst introduction. I mean, if you've seen like we just talk about the woman who fell to Earth. That's barely end. It's like even way less. That's way less.
Not to mention like 3 characters in one episode, I guess.
But well, to be fair, do you like the first ever Doctor Who episode is like Ian Chesterton, Barbara Wright, what's like Susan, and the Doctor, who's literally the first time appearing in the show. And they have established 4 episodes in 22 minutes. And it's like, okay, that they did a better job of that than way better job than in The Woman Who Fell to Earth. And that episode is literally just them talking with no threats. It could happen. It's just not a good selling point though.
Right. Yeah. I think that's it from us. Anything else new? Final thoughts?
Not that I remember.
That's all right. And yeah, that's so I guess that concludes our discussion on the Christmas special, along with other aspects of Doctor Who's history. And we were glad to have you on, Noob.
Yep.
Greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
happy to be here. And
Obviously taking the time from the New Year's Eve. But yeah.
Yeah, and also like the newest, if people don't know, the newest episode is gonna be in May 2024, so that's gonna be a
Yeah.
while.
So hopefully I can catch up on my Whovian aspect. So
probably we'll just watch a bit more about the old
I
Who.
probably won't make it by May, but we'll see.
Don't worry. It took me 2 years to finish the entire new Who.
Yeah. Just a reminder, you guys can subscribe to another Reviews Corp podcast where these episodes will be archived over there on Monday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So just keep that in mind. It's also going to be available on the Spotify. Those links are in the description down below. And yeah, Noob, is there anything you'd like to promote or anything you'd like to say with parting thoughts?
I mean, I have a YouTube channel, but there's nothing there.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we can still post a link regardless.
Yeah. We got the link in the description down below.
Okay.
And thank you, everybody that was able to listen to us live or is going to listen to us live.
Yep.
Listen to us later.
I mean, if you're listening
to channel or Spotify. And happy holidays.
And also, if you're already like New Year's, Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year's to you guys.
Yep.
Happy holidays to everybody.
Happy holiday. And we will see you next week. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Goodbye.